All right. Let's get into it. Woke up this morning, had a little debate with some people that just have a difference of the understanding of the definition of some words. Yeah. And that, I want to get into some of the news today about the Minnesota stuff. Apparently a lot of happening. Who would have thunk it? Thunk. All right, mic is working. Desktop audio, turn it up a little bit.
Fraud scandal rolls on in Minnesota, and now the heat is on that state's most powerful elected officials. Governor Tim Walz and Attorney General Keith Ellison are trying hard to defend what they are accused of doing. Prosecutors say it was widespread and organized theft of taxpayer money. I'm Harris Faulkner. You are in the Faulkner Focus. House Oversight Republicans are accusing Walz and Ellison of looking the other way to avoid political problems with Minnesota's influential Somali community. If you can't get that vote in that community, you can't win in politics in that state. It's very real. Ellison claims.
I mean, in some cities, yeah, they're a piece of the pie.
Everything is under control now, though.
We're glad that we took the action that we did. I convicted over 300 people in the last few years for Medicaid fraud. So we are very able to go after fraud, and we do all the time.
Prosecutors have charged more than 75 people, so they didn't find everybody clearly if they were even looking, in 4 separate ongoing investigations. Here's the Republican Minnesota House Speaker.
We're finally getting that national attention that we need so much here in our state to have full investigations. But you're right, it's over $1 billion.
Not the kind of national attention that you wanted.
In taxpayer dollars that have gone out to fraud instead of going to the people that needed those services the most.
Former White House Press Secretary Ari Fleischer in focus in a moment. I want to go straight to our correspondent Garrett Tenney, who's been all over the story since it broke. Garrett.
Well, here's the level of fraud investigators are finding in Minnesota is growing by the day. Kelly Loeffler, who leads the Small Business Administration, says in the 2 days her agency has been investigating the state, they've uncovered at least $1 million in PPP fraud just 2 days in. Several of the whistleblowers in Minnesota have also told lawmakers they believe
5 years later, and we're still coming across more PPP fraud.
The total amount of fraud could total up to more than $8 billion. Governor Tim Walz, who is up for re-election, is under fire for all of this happening under his watch. But he says they have paused these programs. They've brought in outside auditors to get an idea of how far-reaching this fraud was. They're taking steps to keep it from happening again. And he's defending his management of the state while also taking shots at Republicans and the president.
And in spite of the headwinds we're up against, Minnesota ranks economically, economic growth, happiness, number of people insured, education levels,
We've always
near
been
the
there.
very top.
We were
So I'll
better
tell you
before
what,
you.
I have no interest in having this state look like Oklahoma or Mississippi. And if folks are going to commit crimes here, thinking because our generous spirit and our programs that we have is going.
Wait a second here. Mississippi, they did a thing with education recently where they pumped up their numbers. They stopped playing rookie games. They I believe they're somewhere around 14 to 17th in the country now for the NAEP report card. Not to say Minnesota, we usually do really good on education. However, ever since Pawlenty, I think, left office, we've been a little bit kind of trickling on the downward for it all.
Going to give them some kind of cover, they are sadly mistaken.
Yeah, Minnesota is also now home to the single largest pandemic fraud scheme in the country. And Republicans argue that Walz and other Democrats opened the door to this by offering such generous social welfare benefits without any real protections against fraud, and then ignored warnings about that fraud because they didn't want to lose the support of the Somali community.
The whistleblowers that I've spoken to are saying that the governor knew, and the governor and lieutenant governor and even Chris Schmitter, who was his chief of staff, came to them as staff and scolded them for pointing out fraud.
Yep.
Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar told CNN this week she believes the fraud spiraled out of control because COVID programs were rolled out without sufficient guardrails. It's also worth noting the owner of the restaurant where Omar held her 2018 victory party is among those from the Somali community who have been.
I think, yeah, that dude that owns that restaurant, he's been in pictures with, like, all of the head Democrats of the state. Ilhan Omar. Actually, you know what? I don't think I saw him with Klobuchar.
Been convicted of profiting from the
Wow.
schemes. Harris?
Look, I don't know. I know this would be public, but I don't know how hard they'd make us work as journalists. But I want a FOIA for those 300-plus arrests that A.G. Ellison says that he made. I want to know the dates that those arrests, did they coincide with being caught or this coming to light? I want to know who they picked up in the scheme when you just heard a head of small business saying, Kelly Loeffler, there are more people to go out and get. I mean, this is unbelievable. Your last quick word.
Yeah, you know, and it's interesting. Earlier this week, when Governor Walz was asked why is it that he was leaving this up to the feds, why isn't the state doing more?
Yeah.
He said, we're working with the feds and that we're leading to these federal cases. He didn't answer that question repeatedly, though, of why it is that the state itself hasn't done more to go after these fraud cases.
Wow. And just to hear Tim Walz saying he.
Yeah. I don't know if we're working with the feds or not. It sounds like parts of the country want to, or the state. I don't know. There's a lot of pushback against the feds from the general feel of things in the city. Like, yeah.
He's working with the feds after every push against ICE, different topic.
Yeah,
Same
exactly.
attitude, though. So interesting. Now, to save his own hide, he's going to work with the feds for that investigation. Garrett Tenney, thank you. Minnesota's fraud scandal is raising much larger, more far-reaching and implications questions about the welfare state and government bureaucracies across America. The Wall Street Journal editorial board is honing in on that issue that is at the heart of, remember, Doge's mission, to cut out things that weren't working that cost us so much. To cut that.
Dogecoin
And it's a huge concern for taxpayers. Here's part of that article. The main problem here isn't ethnicity or migration. It's the incentives for indolence and fraud at the heart of the welfare state. And all that free money with few guardrails is an invitation to theft. Columnist Kim Strassel echoes that with this, quote, Minnesota raises to alarm a level a separate need for reset. The system itself, the government machine, is broken. The system serves more as a cash machine for criminals than a safety net for the needy.
That could be said. Remember over 20 years ago, some of the Somalian immigrants that I had noticed in some of the areas of the city, I think they just got here. I could be wrong on that, but they looked wildly successful. Holy crap, they were driving Mercedes, BMWs, all of them had H2 Hummers at some point. And, like, why do they get, where's my American dream? Like, where's our American dream? They get here and they got all this stuff and they don't have to pay taxes for 10 years or... I'm not sure of all the things. A lot has been said and a lot's been heard on this, so I'm not really an authority on how it's supposed to go down. But as a citizen, looking at other people entering the country and being given so many resources, my God. Can you imagine how much smarter the next generation would be if we just funneled, let's say, billions of dollars into just giving the kids resources? They would be able to learn more hands-on effectively with, like, hey, how does this work? And then they get to play with it in hopefully a safe environment.
Here's Republican Senator Joni Ernst.
We need to continue the ability to audit all of those books, all of those funds, those grants that went out through the various COVID programs. I am all on board with going back and exposing what has happened in Minnesota. And let this be a lesson as well, not just to Minnesota, but to all of the fraudsters that exist out there that have taken money that did not belong to them and should not have gone to them.
Well, she's right about that. They're taking a look at other states, including California. That for another day. Let's focus in on this really wildfire going on in terms of politics in Minnesota right now. Ari Fleischer, former White House press secretary, Fox News contributor. Ari, how do we not focus in on what the motivation to do something like this would have been? And that is, you cannot win in that state in politics without that Somali community, and they are at the heart of this fraud allegation.
Well, I think there are two issues here. The most fundamental one is the ripping off of the welfare state, which is human nature. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Why does anybody think this is limited to Minnesota or any of the 50 states?
Lucky,
this is what people do.
If we're lucky, it's not the tip, and we're at the just under water level part right here. But man, yeah.
The government hands out free money. They create fraud to get more of it. And this is why big government equals big fraud and wasted money. It always has, always will. And what's vital now, and this is where if Walter Ellison, the governor and the attorney general, knew of this and looked the other way, they need to be thrown out of office. Because this is corruption because of the key Somali community, as you referenced, Harris.
Look, how do we look at this in terms of DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, and all the pushback that Democrats had on this? I'm wondering now, were there some other underlying things going on to push back on that, like this?
Things have been discovered.
Well, that's why I supported DOGE so much. Big government equals big waste. The two just go hand in hand. There will never be sufficient guardrails on any federal spending program because people are always going to figure out a way to cheat it. That's the problem with big government. That's the problem with free money. This is the fruit of the welfare state. Now, keep in mind, too, this is almost 2026. COVID happened 2020 to 2021, 5 to 6 years ago. This is only coming out now.
Right.
What other programs throughout the federal government were full of fraud, and they're only being caught later? So what you need now is high-level prosecutions. People need to go to jail for an excessively long time, and people need to be forced to give the money back. The government can claw money back when it was given out fraudulently like this. That's what you need to do. Looks like Minnesota won't do that. Minnesota will just try to let this be swept under the rug because of the importance of the Somali.
I wonder, how was there a state surplus years ago? Was that? No.
Community there. But as the Wall Street Journal was good in pointing out, this is not about ethnicity. This is about government welfare state and the fruits of welfare.
Look, Islamic terrorist group Al-Shabaab is said to have gotten that money. You can't claw that back.
Right.
Wow. All right, let's move to this. And thank you very much.
All right, this news just breaking moments ago. Fox News has obtained photos of one of the Somali illegal immigrants wrapped up in the Minnesota fraud scandal, posing with several high-profile Minnesota Democrats, including Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and Governor Tim Walz. The man pictured is Abdul Dahir Ibrahim. He entered the country in 2000 and has had an order for removal since 2004. He also has a prior conviction in Canada for asylum and welfare fraud. ICE tells Fox News Ibrahim was granted temporary protected status for 10 years, but should have never been eligible. We are going to have more on this in our next hour.
A massive fraud scandal unfolding in Minnesota, turning into a wake-up call on America's broken welfare system. As more details come to light about scams that bilk taxpayers out of what could be more than $1 billion. Yes, they sound like Dr. Evil. It's $1 billion. Welcome to a new hour of America Reports. I'm John Roberts in Washington. That's real money, Sandra.
That is real money. Good to be with you on this Friday, John. I'm Sandra Smith in New York. So one startling example sticking out concerns a program to help recovering addicts find stable housing. Initial estimates for the housing program was for just under $3 million annually. But an indictment shows grifters fraudulently billed Medicaid more than $100 million last year alone. Garrett Tenney is live on this out of Chicago for us. What do you have, Garrett?
Well, Sandra, several of the whistleblowers in Minnesota have told state lawmakers that by the time these investigations are through, they believe the actual size of this fraud, the amount of taxpayer dollars that has been stolen, could be higher than $8 billion. We are already seeing some of that. 2 days into the Small Business Administration's investigation, Secretary Kelly Loeffler says the agency has uncovered at least $1 million in PPP fraud. And the state itself is now looking into the possibility of fraud in another.
A normal adult person can grasp what $1 million is. Like, oh, okay, you can buy like 4 houses or like 10 Bitcoins maybe. But then to go up from $1 million to $1 billion. Okay, well, what are we talking now? You can't afford the most expensive house on the planet. That's about it. I mean, pretty much anything else that you want to do, civilian-wise, it's within reason, because you have $1 billion. Live forever in luxury, probably. It's probably a lifetime worth of money at this point still, even if inflation keeps going a little bit. But I don't know. To paint it a little bit further, $1 trillion. I mean, I was part of a place that I think they made like $500 million a year in revenue, and it's like, okay, well, that helps me figure out what $1 billion is. You have like 100 people working year round, you get half of $1 billion or so in revenue. It's not margin. But then to do $1 trillion on top of that, okay, now we're talking what the crypto market cap was in the late teens. Like $1 trillion.
Medicaid program. Minnesota's Department of Human Services is now pausing the issuing of new licenses for disability service providers over concerns of fraud after an explosion in the number of applications for new licenses over the past.
People who want the handicap parking passes, I guess, shot up way too.
5 years, going up 283%, while the number of people needing those services only increased by 25%. Governor Tim Walz, who is up for re-election, is under fire for all of this happening under.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. So there's 25% more waiver participants, and 283% more license applications. This is
for his watch, but he says they have investigated every claim of fraud that's come in, something whistleblowers dispute, and says the state is taking the steps it needs to keep it from happening again.
We've acknowledged that this is serious, needs to stop. It is stopping. People are continuing to go to prison. I think the good news for Minnesotans to know when that 90-day pause is over and the third-party audits are done, we will have a better picture than we've ever had, which I think is really good.
While all of these investigations are getting underway, Republican lawmakers are sounding the alarm about Minnesota's new paid leave program launching next month that allows anyone in the state, regardless of their citizenship status, to take 12 weeks of paid leave a year paid for by the state. GOP lawmakers say the program is ripe for abuse.
It was written so broadly that you.
I just get hired at this place. Hey, boss, I need 12 weeks. I need my 12 weeks for the year.
You can take advantage of it. And
yeah, people are going to take advantage of that. Holy God. Why can't we make things better?
And no one's going to come looking for you. The taxpayers put in a bunch of money to launch the whole thing. So this is going to be the next horrible thing coming out of Minnesota.
And it's important to remember the FBI is also still investigating the massive fraud schemes there. This morning, Attorney General Pam Bondi said there are going to be a lot more arrests on this coming. Sandra?
Okay, thanks for keeping track of it for us. Garrett Tenney in Chicago on that for us. John?
All right, let's dig deeper into all of this by bringing in Texas Republican Congressman Brandon Gill, a member of the House Oversight Committee, which is now investigating fraud in Minnesota's social services system. Congressman, good to have you with us this Friday afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
So Thanks for having me.
Plenty of accusations that Governor Tim Walz turned a blind eye to this. And the Wall Street Journal sums it all up this way, quote, Democrats won't acknowledge fraud because they want more Americans on the dole. Welfare is central to their political business model. Republicans who make this scandal about immigration are missing the point and missing an opportunity to educate Americans about the entitlement state grift. What do you say to that?
Grifting.
Well, I would say, first of all, that I agree that the problem is that the welfare state has gotten far too big with almost virtually very few real eligibility checks or anti-fraud provisions. But I do think that there is clearly an immigration component to this as well. You know, the famous economist Milton Friedman famously remarked that you can't have both open borders and a welfare state. And for decades, the Democrats have been trying to have both. They've invited as many people as they possibly could from all over the globe into our communities, including tens of thousands of Somalians into Minnesota, and then opened up the welfare state to provide benefits with almost no anti-fraud provisions whatsoever. And this is...
With everything that's going on here, this is the good part of the picture right here. The pin. The Minnesota state flag. I hated our old flag. Our old flag sucked. It was like they just cookie cuttered flags back then and they all looked the same. I like that we changed ours up. I would have ended on a different design here. I like the star. I like the dark blue. Okay. Now this though should be white, green, and blue stripes on this light blue part. For the snow, the grass, and the water. That would have fit Minnesota a lot better, I think.
The obvious result. We knew this would happen, and yet Democrats are pushing this for political gain.
So still sticking with the Wall Street Journal, Kim Strassel is a great observer of the political condition, not only here in Washington, D.C., but across the country. She writes the lessons of Minnesota's fraud. She says, quote, Minnesota raises to alarm level a separate need for reset. The system itself, the government machine, is broken. It's heaving duplicative federal state programs awash in forms and bureaucracies and ancient mainframes, has already suffered Soviet-style collapse. The system serves more as a cash machine for criminals.
She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing.
So he's talking about Somalia, and he's talking about the Somali community inside Minneapolis, mostly Minnesota. It's the largest one of the country. And
it's the largest, second largest in the world outside of Somalia. Fun fact.
Also know this huge burgeoning scandal where they've been bilking. Most of them are Somalis. I mean, 79 of the 84 indictments are Somalis. 52 of the convictions, almost all are Somalis. And it looked systematic, and the money...
I think I saw 2 names on that list that looked like normal names. The rest of them looked foreign or Arabic, African. They could be American too. I'm not judging there.
Might in fact be going back to Somalia to Al-Shabaab, their Al-Qaeda affiliate. So if that indeed, that's a Chris Rufo connection that he talked about last week that is being pursued now by the Treasury Department. And the president is fed up. She's fed up with people like Ilhan Omar who do nothing but complain, who raise kids that have take part in anti-Semitic protests at Columbia, who just whine about this country instead of trying to make it better. And by the way, one of her staffers is indicted, and a restaurant that she has an affiliation with is right in the middle of it, stealing tens of millions of dollars. So this is going to get a lot bigger. But
there's going to be some things, I think, happening here. 74 people, 75, maybe it's up to 78 now, I'm not sure. They ripped off everybody in the state. And even though we don't feel it yet in our, I mean, maybe some people are. I heard property taxes are a thing that's going up. Yeah, it's not good. This is not good. We're going to feel some pain from this, maybe.
The president language helpful, his directness. Let's bring in Ben Shapiro. Daily Wire co-founder, host of The Ben Shapiro Show, #1 New York Times bestselling author. His latest book is Lions and Scavengers, The True Story of America. Hey, Ben, welcome. Your thoughts about the president's approach and now banning immigration from, I think, 19 to 20 countries.
I mean, on policy, there's no question he's correct. I mean, the fact is that we cannot vet people who are coming in from countries that effectively have no government. And not only do they have no government, what government they do have is very often complicit in actual terrorism, especially when you're talking about a place like Somalia, where something like 35% of its entire economy is remittances from the United States, which is totally insane. And so what the president is doing by saying we can't have mass migration from areas where people don't hold anything in common with us, generally hate American values, have no love for the American Constitution. I don't even see what's remotely controversial about that part of it. Obviously, the president uses the president's language. And anybody who's shocked at President Trump's language after a decade of President Trump, I think, I mean, get over it. Like, honestly, we're now 10 years into this. And on the list of insults, this comes up very short.
So, this thing's going to get big. Keith Ellison, who was a terrible congressman and a horrible attorney general, but the people of Minneapolis seem to like him, is defending Governor Walz's responses to the fraud that's going to be over $1 billion. And with the stuff the programs they took from autistic programs, from poor people, from these food programs, some of which Ilhan Omar sponsored and got federal funding for.
Yeah, you are so close to this. You're the congresswoman, and you are right here. And the person that's guilty of all this stuff is so close to you. This is, it's disturbing.
So this is going to be real.
No, they're not linked at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
Really big. Where do you think this goes as the federal government gets involved?
Well, I mean, obviously, the investigations are probably going to grow from here. My guess is that's only the beginning. I think that probably there's more there than they've even uncovered so far. One of the funnier articles I saw, there was an ABC affiliate that came out this morning talking about the benefits of mass Somali migration into Minnesota and pointing out that the total income of Somali Minnesotans was $500 million last year. Well, I noticed that $500 million as a total income is half of what was bilked from the federal government just in the cases that have already been uncovered. So if what we're talking about is the great enrichment that has happened due to mass migration, and the best you can come up with is an income that amounts to half of the fraud committed by this small group of Somalis, then I'm not sure exactly what case it is that you're making at this point. Again, this is not to malign every single person who's coming from Somalia, because whenever you have a group of people, I'm sure there are great individuals that exist within a broader spectrum.
And to be fair, I've met some cool ones, and I've met some not cool ones. So, I mean, every different type of person, there's good and bad.
Of human beings. And, when the president says garbage, I think, by the way, in that quote, he seems to be talking specifically about Ilhan Omar, who I also agree is a trash human being. I think she has horrible beliefs. I think that she
did say the other day in, I don't know, it was a translation. She was speaking in her native language about that we need to get rid of these people that disagree with us. And it did not sound good, to say the least. But maybe there's words that were mistranslated. Whatever. It sounded like she didn't like the people that voted against her friend Omar Fateh, the guy that was running for Minneapolis mayor, because Jacob Frey used some tribal politics from back in Somalia. Like, hey, it doesn't matter if you're from this tribe or this tribe or this tribe. We're all, we're all together. And he swayed enough of the community to vote for him instead of the Somalian guy. And now Ilhan Omar, she was saying in this press conference that we need to get rid of these people. It wasn't a press conference. It looked like more like a closed gathering. But beyond the point, yeah, I agree with Mr. Shapiro here. People could be better than what they are.
Stands for horrible things. And then he says, and her friends, I don't know that he's necessarily referring to every single Somali person in the United States. He may be referring to people who are politically affiliated, or he may be referring to her actual specific friends, some of whom seem to be caught up in the actual fraud welfare scheme here.
Including one of her staffers that's involved. Yes. And one of these restaurant owners who owns a Safari Inn has 35 tables. but yet he claims he's gotten reimbursed for 18,000 meals. He's got a multi-million-dollar mansion. I mean, are we kidding? And guess what?
He's $9,000 a month at Nordstrom.
Yeah.
That's a lot of, I mean, I hope he dresses well. That's a lot of clothes. $9,000 a month. Whoa.
So Ben, I'm going to add something to this. So if you actually bilk out of this money, there's now a phone call that I understand that the Attorney General Ellison has, where some of these people involved in the fraud pledge campaign contributions, which he eventually collects from these people. They also did the threatening. You talk about full circle of, if you come down on me, I'm going to hit you with the racism and bias claims, which backs out these politicians who need the 80,000 member Somali committee or community to vote for them.
Yes, that's correct. I mean, obviously, every politician has to answer to constituents. And so when you have Keith Ellison basically, garnering campaign contributions from many of the same people who are associated with this sort of activity and saying, I'm going to be your guy. I mean, I'm not sure how that isn't a scandal. I think Tim Walz obviously is a scandal. I think Ilhan Omar obviously is a scandal. It's hard to see how fraud perpetrated at this great a scale was unknown by everyone in a position of power, especially people who are extremely close to the communities in question.
Ben, not that you should be surprised. That's why you started the Daily Wire. But they looked at the networks and say how much coverage this has gotten. Zero. I know the nightly news. I mean, zero. How could that not be $1 billion gone from a state like Minnesota? But I want to talk about also what's going on with the anti-Semitism. I spoke at a Jewish conference last night, and the isolation that the Jewish community feels, especially in New York City, is beyond comprehension, especially with the election of this mayor. And there's some studies that are really disturbing. Nearly 4 in 10 of the current GOP, 37%, believe the Holocaust was exaggerated and did not happen as history described. By the way, I met a Holocaust survivor last night, 96 years old. He told me it happened.
On TikTok, this sort of stuff goes viral very, very quickly.
Yes, and maybe disproportionately. We get the theory that maybe too many people think that way. But let's just amp this up. It's very commonplace, and it's total truth to say that the Democrats have a huge problem, and they'll admit it with the so-called socialist wing of the party that's growing. Got it. Like that left-wing lunatic who ran in the 7th District of Tennessee. I understand it. And then they got other people that are looked at as moderates, the Spambergers, the Joe Manchins, who's not in politics anymore. I got it. And Fetterman, to me, seems to speak what I would hope be the future of that party, but he's the minority of that party. That's the fracture we like to dissect. But in your estimation, do the Republicans have a problem with the extreme right that says, you know what, Israel, they're way too over the top. We're way too close to them. Russia, they're just misunderstood. We shouldn't be involved. Venezuela, not our problem. Why are we worried about that? Do you think that divide on the Republican side presents this same quantitative problem as the Democrats have?
So I think that there is a massive quantitative problem on the Republican side. I don't think it's about disagreements over Israel policy or Venezuela policy or even Ukraine policy. I think it has to do with something deeper. And that is, I think there's a wing of the Republican Party that is rejecting the basic promise of meritocracy, which used to be sort of the root of the conservative agenda. The root of the conservative agenda was the idea that we have constitutional checks and balances in order to preserve God-given freedoms that allow us to rise or fall on our own merits. That was basically the promise of the United States. And there is a side of the right that has decided that the meritocracy is actually a lie, and that what we actually need to do is target a so-called globalist elite who are manipulating the system to their own ends. That tends to cross over with conspiratorial views, particularly about Jews, but it tends to cross over with other sort of conspiratorial views in general, which is something you've seen growing inside the Republican Party. That same poll shows that there are a huge number of Republicans who believe in conspiracy theories about 9/11 or even the moon landing. And that sort.
Back to the topic.
Healthcare expenses. We're looking to other conduct by state officials. One thing we have not had in California for a long time is oversight. Because of the super Democrat party out here, there's been no oversight. There's been no checks or balances on the power. It's now here.
So there's renewed scrutiny now on the welfare system here in the Golden State of California. Congress opening that investigation into Minnesota. Governor Walz's handling of several large-scale fraud cases, talking about $1 billion, maybe more. California gubernatorial candidate Steve Hilton launching a tip line to report fraud cases. He tells the New York Post that whatever we're seeing in Minnesota is 1,000 times worse in California because of many more years of one-party rule by the Democrats. Let's get Steve Hilton to back that up. He joins me now live. And, sir, good morning to you. Good to be back in your state. I know you still love it here. 1,000 times is a lot. Where's that coming from?
It may even be an understatement, Bill. Great to be with you. Sorry I couldn't be with you in person. I'm doing a debate this morning up here in San Jose. Look, we've had 15 years of one-party rule. We were the first state, California, to have a statewide sanctuary law. Look at the fraud and abuse we already know about. $20 billion in the pandemic, the employment department sent to people on death row, prisons and jails, and criminal gangs internationally. 24 billion, the state auditor says, on homelessness spending that went straight into the pockets of cronies and connected nonprofits for the homeless industrial complex. As Bill Essayli was just alluding to there, officially now, $13 billion next year, Gavin Newsom is going to be spending on free healthcare for illegal immigrants. That's $57 billion that we know about. Think about the rest, the massive bloated size of our bureaucracy, nanny state, welfare state here in California.
So the American dream is a dream. And this American dream comes true for select individuals that may have immigrated from this place to that place in this certain time frame and reaped so many benefits of, I don't know, let's say scams, scandals, fraud, I mean, not paying taxes for 10 years, all the legitimate stuff that comes with it too, all the loosening of the leash, so to say. And the American dream for other people, if you have something really wrong with you, you migrate to California and you get free healthcare on the California taxpayer. It's ridiculous. Meanwhile, American citizens don't have all their problems fixed either. Huh.
That's why I've launched califraud.com, because in Minnesota we saw for years honest, decent, brave civil servants were trying to blow the whistle on the abuse that was going on there. Tim Walz and the Democrat machine silenced them, harassed them, and tried to cover it all up. We mustn't let that happen here. So I'm calling on every civil servant, every state worker in California who may know of shenanigans that are going on to go to califraud.com, anonymously tell us so that we know what's going on, so that when I'm governor, we can root it out and save taxpayers' money.
All right, we'll see what you come up with on that. There's a couple other topics I want to get to. I've been out here twice in the last couple of weeks. It is a stunning thing for me to drive through the Pacific Palisades and then through Malibu for many, many miles. And so our viewers at home who have not been out here, the destruction from these fires is extensive. And the state's doing its best to try and recover. And it's,
I mean, it's like the fire on the Palisades earlier this year was, I mean, a result of, but there were variables that were linked to the Democrat policies in the state, sure. But it really reminds me of the fire in Hawaii, where the entire island just was all kindling and basically went up in flames. And I believe there were some fatalities, but a lot of damage. The entire island went up. Or a significant portion. And there was something with alarms that were supposed to sound but didn't. And yeah, California, similar thing. These are both blue places.
Been a very slow process. Last January, here is Gavin Newsom on NBC and said this about the effort in California. Watch.
We're already organizing a Marshall Plan. We already have a team of looking and reimagining LA 2.0, and we're making sure everyone's included, not just...
Someone did like a video of, I can't find it anymore. Someone did a video of Gavin Newsom and, was it the mayor of LA and one other person singing California's Burning to the tune of California's Dreamin'. And it was really, I wish I could find it. I'd save that shit.
Folks on the coast, people here that were ravaged by this disaster.
Okay, so after that, President Trump came to California. And yesterday, Gavin Newsom was in Washington, D.C. He said in January, real Donald Trump looked me in the eye on the tarmac, promising Angelenos that he'd help rebuild after the firestorms. 11 months later, he still hasn't delivered. That's why I'm headed to D.C. to push for a long overdue federal aid package for survivors. Will California get that, Steve? How do you see it?
I'm sorry, Bill, but the level of lying and gaslighting now from Gavin Newsom is beyond a joke. It is disgusting. It is an insult to everyone who lost anything in the Palisades fire and the Altadena fire, because look at what he said there. You played the video. He said Gavin Newsom, not Donald Trump, Gavin Newsom would be organizing a Marshall Plan to rebuild LA. I was in the Palisades yesterday afternoon. We went to the first house that they touted as being rebuilt after the fires. Turns out it was permitted before the fires. It's not even a real home. It's a show home. And look at what's actually been happening on the ground in the Palisades. It's actually the president and his team who've done the job. The Army Corps of Engineers cleaning the toxic waste. Lee Zeldin and his team from the EPA. They did their job in record time. The federal government did its part. It's California, the feckless governor, the useless mayor, who've done nothing practically to deliver on the promises they made. That's why we're going to kick them out next year, Bill. We're sick of all this.
The lady that was in
trip to our nation.
The lady that was in, the mayor of LA that was in Africa for like the first couple days or whatnot of that fire. It looks so bad. Do they do their jobs?
Capital. Steve Hilton, thank you for your time. We'll continue to track it. Appreciate you coming on today. You bet.
Moving on to this, the House Oversight Committee demanding Minnesota Governor Tim Walz hand over documents as we learn new details about the investigation into the $1 billion welfare fraud scandal. And new reports claiming Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar has deep ties to people who personally profited from the alleged fraud. That list includes one of her former campaign officials and a co-owner of the restaurant where Omar held her 2018 congressional victory party. It is important to note the Congresswoman has not been directly linked to the fraud herself. Joining us now is the Speaker of the Minnesota House of Representatives, Lisa DeMuth.
Even though she's in a picture with like one of the main restaurant owners that was like one of the first ones. She hasn't been linked yet.
Who joins me now. And Lisa, thank you so much for doing just that. $1 billion in taxpayer dollars essentially lit on fire. What is your reaction to this staggering fraud scandal that has rocked your state?
For the last 7 years, we have looked at fraud that has exploded under Governor Tim Walz in autism services. Feeding Our Future, the food scandal during the COVID time, is the largest COVID food scandal, taxpayer money waste in the nation. And we've been sounding the alarm over the years. We're finally getting that national attention that we need so much here in our state to have full investigations. But you're right. It's over $1 billion in taxpayer dollars that have gone out to fraud instead of going to the people that needed those.
And you remember, like back in COVID, they had this like hero fund, they called it, for people who worked during the pandemic. I think people actually received it like 2023 or 24. But if you were a necessary job function and you worked through all those brutal days when people probably quit, everybody's on edge because someone sneezed or coughed, someone not wearing a mask, whatever it was. These people worked through that disaster, and the hospital workers especially. And I remember I got my little piece of that hero fund because I was working through it. And it turned out to be like $300. After taxes, it was like $300. I think it was like $420 or something, but then taxes and $300 is what you get. Thanks for helping everybody. Like, dude, McDonald's gives bigger bonuses than some workplaces or man, if they put $1 or $2 billion more into that, would my 300 have been 6? I mean, it would. Who's to say? But wasteful spending. Here we go.
Those services the most.
Tim Walz is up for re-election. What are residents in Minnesota saying about this?
Tim Walz is up for his third election here in the state of Minnesota. People were surprised when he was reelected for a second time.
Franklin the Turtle.
But when he was on the national stage just a year ago, it really let the nation know truly who Tim Walz is. Definitely let Minnesotans know his favorability is underwater right now. It's less than 50%. And it's mostly because he has not handled fraud, and he's increased our taxes and fees and spent through a record surplus.
You say that $1 billion could just be the tip of the iceberg. That's a pretty big iceberg. What do you mean by that?
Yes, and that is what we've heard from the acting U.S. attorney in the case, specifically looking at some of these things. That was said by acting attorney, U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson. He said this could be just the tip of the iceberg. It could push north almost to $2 billion. Again, these are taxpayer dollars that have been...
And they're talking about this in... It might be multiple programs. Like, there's still PPP stuff they're uncovering. There's still the Feeding Our Future stuff they're uncovering. Apparently some money got found out to have been being sent to bad people in Somalia. 75 convictions of people who have, I guess, now pled guilty or at least been charged of fraud. And how much of this can someone take before they say, hey, we got to do something about it?
Stolen by fraudsters here in the state of Minnesota.
Well, in 2020, according to the New York Times, the Minnesota Department of Education actually questioned Feeding Our Future, which is one of these fraudulent organizations, about all the requests that they were making. And the organization actually threatened the state agency and said that if you don't give us what we want, we're going to sue you, accuse you of racism. And I don't think we really want that kind of negative press. And the state agency caved. That's just one example of the brazen nature of all of this that took place over the course of 5 years. Why do you think this took so long to uncover?
I think there's been a lack of accountability at the very top of our state. You know, if threats were made such as those, you still push through, investigate the fraud, and stop the fraudulent payments that were going out. That is not what we've experienced here in the state. That is the change that we need from the very top. We're grateful that we've got federal partners that are coming in to truly investigate a number of these cases and look into the records. But accountability starts at the top. So that's with the governor and with his commissioners. That's not what we've experienced.
It doesn't start at the top. That's where we're at. The top is the yeah, it's whatever. The top is an interesting place, I'm sure. Maybe somebody gets in there that can do some real good one day. I think Tim Walz has failed on several things. I mean, I'm not going to criticize him too bad for COVID, because whatever, we made it through. I mean, we look better than New York, where they started stacking up elderly people or something, Cuomo. But he's just done a lot of things and said a lot of stupid things. Like, I know it was a mistake, it was like a gaffe or like a speech thing on his part when he said it, but when Tim Walz said, I'm friends with school shooters, I was like, wait, did I just hear that right? And he had a couple moments in the debates with J.D. Vance where, I mean, Tim Walz didn't even deserve to be on the stage with J.D. Vance, because it was like Vance took the stage out from under him. He didn't have anything to stand on at some point. Debating wise, I believe J.D. Vance won that with flying colors. To speak to the point, though, yeah, he's not the greatest. He's not the greatest. I can name 2 governors I prefer before him. And you know, one of them had a real action figure of himself at one point. A couple of them. Yeah, he's a good guy. Conspiracy theorist, had a Discovery show afterwards. Jesse Ventura. That guy was solid. And he did some good, he did some bad. He did some ultimate good, which created some ultimate bad. And I guess life is a balance, yin and yang, right? You have this, you're going to have that.
Here in Minnesota.
Well, speaking of the top, of course, Governor Walz has been questioned about this now that it's been uncovered. And here he is talking about why he believes this took place in Minnesota. Watch this.
Do you take responsibility for failing to stop this fraud in your state?
He's going to dodge the question.
Well, certainly I take responsibility for putting people in jail.
You can fix this. If you take responsibility for putting people in jail and you didn't do your job as governor, should you not be putting yourself? I don't know.
Governors don't get to just talk theoretically. We have to solve problems. And I will note, it's not just Somalis. Minnesota is a generous state. Minnesota is a prosperous state, a well-run state. We're AAA bond rated, but that attracts criminals. Those people are going to jail. We're doing everything we can. But to demonize an entire community on the actions of a few, it's lazy.
So he says that this took place in Minnesota because he's doing too.
I can agree with that. To paint with a broad brush and say, no, all this is because this person did something bad, their whole community is no. Or people with similarities, that's not fair. Painting with a broad brush is never good.
Good of a job. What do you think about that?
AAA bond rating is not what criminals look at if they're going to come and do criminal behavior.
She has a point here. Criminals don't look at your bond rating.
You're here in a state. What I would say is a well-run.
Traditionally, they don't.
State, a generous state, and a prosperous state. But a well-run state does not attract criminal behavior. It means that the dollars that are collected from taxpayers go to the people that need it the most, not to fraudsters.
Yeah, and these people stole $1 billion for themselves while claiming it was going to autistic and hungry children. So let's hope that the punishment here truly meets the crime. Lisa DeMuth, Speaker of the Minnesota House of Representatives, we thank you so much for joining us, speaking out about this.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz says his administration is addressing a fraud scandal that has cost taxpayers more than $1 billion.
Are they?
Correspondent Garrett Tenney has the latest tonight from our Midwest Bureau.
The amount of fraud investigators are uncovering in Minnesota is growing by the day. 2 days into the Small Business Administration's probe, investigators finding at least $1 million in COVID loans to individuals indicted in the state's massive fraud schemes.
This looks like a complex scheme that was set up to defraud taxpayers, our federal government.
Congress and multiple federal agencies are now probing what's become the largest and
I think it's fair for anybody to say, like, hey, if it's really this bad, like, there needs to be some sort of effect to this cause. There needs to be some justice to this action. Unacceptable. You're robbing the American people, and you're peeing on us and telling us it's raining. It's not cool, man. And Democrats. It's something they would do. Yeah, maybe.
Pandemic fraud scheme in the country, with prosecutors finding more than $1 billion stolen so far.
It's unbelievable what they were doing with all of these people and the crimes that had been committed for so very long.
Several whistleblowers in the state tell lawmakers the total fraud could swell to more than $8 billion and claim they repeatedly tried to sound the alarm.
And I think there's some controversy with this account. Their blue check mark, last I looked, it actually turned gray. Not sure.
The Walz administration is incredibly incompetent, or they're complicit. At this point, I don't see how you see it any other way.
Governor Tim Walz insists his administration never ignored reports of possible fraud and are taking steps to keep it from happening again.
We've acknowledged that this is serious, needs to stop. It is stopping. People are continuing to go to prison.
DHS says federal immigration agents in the Twin Cities have arrested at least 12 criminal illegal aliens as part of the newly launched Operation Metro Surge, targeting Somalis in the country illegally. That operation and the president's renewed attacks on the Somali people has the community on edge, including this business owner who voted for the president.
We don't want our president, saying all the Somali, they are bad. We're not bad.
The FBI's in.
And I agree with her. They're not all bad. There's some good ones that, they contribute.
Investigation into Minnesota's massive fraud is ongoing. So
or some of the things with like, hey, if you marry your brother to get him some citizenship, that's bad.
Far more than 50 people have been convicted, with nearly 80 others charged. And this morning, Attorney General Pam Bondi said there are going to be a lot more arrests coming. Brett?
Garrett, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it'll be fun to see where this saga is going to lead. But beside the point there, we're going to start looking at the Game Awards. So I'm curious what's on here.
The most important endeavor humankind has ever undertaken, putting video games into a numbered list.
You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. Standing on a futuristic ring world while hosting the pre-show for the PC gaming show Most Wanted. Well, it all started when I received a transmission from deep space telling me, wait. Why am I listening to myself explain things to me when you should be listening to me explain things to you? Hey everyone, I'm Midas, and once again I am hyped to be bringing you the pre-show. As always, we've assembled developers, content creators, artists, critics who've collaborated to pick the top 25 most stellar upcoming games. But this year, they're more than just a council. They are a galactic council. See, in order to keep free of distractions while sifting through hundreds of up-and-coming games, the council have taken up residence here on a ring world, like the kind you see in Halo or Halo 2. And when they're done deliberating, the council will transmit their most wanted data to the most reliable and courageous spaceship commander in the galaxy, Frankie Ward. Are you there, Frankie?
What makes her the most
Midas? Not sure if you can see or hear me. Zoom really craps out when you try to broadcast across the Horsehead Nebula on a 3G connection. I'm going to switch to text.
Deep space communication received from Commander Frankie Ward. She's going to be, quote, hella late, because she saw a, quote, kind of weird alien with a gross suction cup face, and, quote, freaked TF out. She then flew 200 million light years in the opposite direction and got trapped in the gravity well of a black hole. Quote, oopsie, quote, TTYL, quote, love ya. End quote. New estimated time of arrival, the year 10191.
Guess we've got a little bit more time before the most reliable and courageous spaceship commander in the galaxy gets here. We're on a ring world, but we still got our eyes on the real world. That's why, in associations with our data partners at Newzoo, the council is proud to be bringing you Trend Watch, a deep dive into the biggest trends in gaming. One of the hottest gaming topics of 2025 is something we are all interested in. Number go up.
Oh my God, really?
We're talking about games like Megabonk and Ball Pit, Clover Pit, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, Balatro. The point of playing is to scale up your damage or your point total to some insane degree. The common qualities of these games are that they're highly replayable, extraordinarily repetitive. They're often visually simple.
I think common characteristics across the genre are things like checklists, a huge amount of unlocks. There's always something to chase. There's something that people want to unlock in that sense. Megabonk does a great job of this, where it pops those quests up on the menu screen and you can immediately know what you want to do next.
I would say that on the surface, the success of these games is actually kind of surprising, right? I mean, these games are not very deep, they're not complex or very involved. They minimize actually the amount of interaction you take as a player, almost to the extent that they're sometimes a step or two away from being an idle game.
In the top 10 games right now on Steam Deck, 4 of them are of this genre space. Ball Pit, Megabonk, Balatro, and Vampire Survivors are all still very popular. A lot of people are looking for short, quick, easy to pick up and play games, and these just fit that mold perfectly.
Building this massive ring world took the metal ore of 70 planets, the stone of 43 asteroid belts, and the furniture of nearly one entire IKEA. But as big as this place is, it doesn't hold a candle to the biggest industry in the world.
I think 2025 is quite an exciting year for Chinese studios, both in domestic Chinese market and overseas market. Black Myth Wukong is the most popular and well-known games worldwide, right? Marvel Rivals from NetEase is also very popular and also very financially successful. I think Wuchang Fallen Feather is one of the most well-known games. Chinese studios want to combine the traditional Chinese culture, the ancient story, high-fidelity graphic design, and also some light tracing system. Because of the rapid development of the AI, they have lowered the entry barrier of AAA games and AA games. I know there were a lot of discussion and concerns among the Western studios, but that's not the issue in China. It's exciting, and I think it will become kind of starting point, for Chinese studios to accelerate their exploration in the overseas market.
People often ask me, Midas, you're handsome. What's it like on a ring world?
What's it like?
Well, it's not all that it's cracked up to be. If there's a traffic jam, you have to drive all the way around the ring in the other direction. And a few light years away, someone is building the exact same ring world again with Unreal Engine 5. Oh, and there's these flat ringers claiming that the ring is flat and not ring-shaped. Just look up, you idiots. You can see the ring at all times.
Incoming transmission from Commander Frankie's ship.
What now?
To arrive on time for the show, Commander Ward tried to use her ship's Alcubierre drive to fold Minkowski spacetime to achieve faster-than-light travel.
And?
The YouTube tutorial on how to do that was, quote, like 9 minutes long and I ain't watching all that, end quote. Instead, she has entered cryosleep for the voyage, which is what she calls blasting the air conditioning and taking a nap. New estimated time of arrival, the year 40,000.
I wish Frankie would get this figured out. And speaking of wishes, that's an expertly crafted segue into some new game trailers for the PC Gamers wishlist. Take a look.
Find the houses. Take the mantle. A shape waiting to be forged. This is your moment, Roderick.
Mad mushroom
Rise to it.
Fugu. There's a fugu.
You know what they say? Whoever knows their history is doomed to remaster it. Maybe that's why our crack squad of intergalactic spies noticed that a lot of games we've seen this year looked a little familiar.
2025 has been a big year for remasters. We've seen a lot released over the past 12 months. There are people clamoring to replay these games with a modern, graphical enhancement and, quality of life improvements to kind of bring them up to modern day standards.
You have the classic group of gamers who played the games when they first came out, for whom the nostalgia is really neat. But there is a different and larger group of emerging people that never had the opportunity to play that know them by reputation.
No, and you can totally get all these games on different platforms. You can still get like the old Heretic and Hexen. Old Command and Conquers.
Only, so that it is truly new for the first time.
There's one that has really
some games have totally fallen on their face. Like some of the remasters, like Chrono Cross, I think. The original ran much better.
Dominated the conversations this year, and that's Oblivion Remastered. Obviously, it's a game that has a huge community and fan base behind it, and that you could play it straight away. Really helped kind of drive.
A few people back in college, they ended up dropping out of college because they played too much Oblivion. Ironically, they were in college for like multimedia design, interactive media design. They were in school for making video games. However, they threw their lives away by playing too much Oblivion and not doing what they needed to in real life. And now this is an opportunity. If they see this, they can go back to it again and do it all over, I suppose. Oblivion was a solid game. I had fun watching it. I don't think I would ever play it because I watched so much of it, though.
The excitement and enthusiasm for that release.
I can't wait for console gamers to get their hands on Blood Refresh Supply. Classic.
Console gamers.
We were just so excited.
Oh, I remember.
Bring it to console audience.
People are desperate to replay games from their childhood that were transformative in their lives, but the wording of remaster and remake has become very tinged.
There will be another generation of Sony, of Xbox.
Tinged? What does she mean by that? I'm curious, because I don't see people use... Tinged. Past tense. Tinged. What? Wait. Ting? What? She doesn't make any sense there to me.
And the probability is that games that we were playing now, games that are coming out now, will at some time in the future be unplayable unless somebody steps in to ensure their copy.
I do think there's still going to be an appetite for these games, but it needs to be treated with respect rather than just like, oh, it's slightly better graphics and, slightly better frame rates, rather than like, we are remaking this from the ground up for a modern audience. So, yeah, complicated, but I don't think they're going anywhere.
If it was fun then.
What she means by that, I think, is they want to make part of it pay to win. They're going to extract some money for it. There's going to be microtransactions, maybe cosmetics or some sort of status upgrade if you pay so much money. We're remaking this for a modern audience, not for free. I think if a game's 30 years old, it should be able to be remade. Remastered. Yeah.
It would probably be fun now.
I fought monsters on Mars, watched all 3 suns rise in Alpha Centauri, even introduced some alien species to the music of Benson Boone. They tried to kill me with shovels. But as much as I've experienced, I still don't really understand what the heck is going on in Roblox. Thank God our friends at Newzoo do.
When we look at the Roblox generation, basically, I think everybody knows from looking at Roblox's financial, it's a massive group of players actually that are under 13 years old. But it's not just limited to them. Actually, the player base that is 13 years and older is actually growing faster right now as well. Looking at the content on the platform that has gone viral, many of these things are coming from.
Is he being meticulous with the way he's wording all of this right now because of all the news around that game?
Social media, TikTok, it's mostly centered around, Gen Alpha, Gen Z that play these kind of games. Biggest player base is actually present on mobile, right? So, of course, what we're seeing right now is that more and more publishers from the indie AA or AAA space that used to make games on PC and console are actually looking, how can I actually expand my audience on Roblox as well? It's a very different approach because players on PC and console, they play up to 30 games a year, whereas, the average Roblox player does 20 experience on a monthly basis. So there's a whole different way how this is.
Does 20 experience? I don't understand the correlation to 30 games a year to 20 experience.
Being consumed. They're adding more mature content, they're adding proximity voice chat there. So there's a couple of things that they're trying to add to the platform and to these experiences. But of course, that comes.
It's the Wild West is what he's describing.
With the risk of the protection of younger players, basically. I mean, they're trying to figure out how to make the platform safer, but and at the same time more interesting for older players as well.
Fashion in space is easy. In a utopia, wear robes. On a spaceship, wear a jumpsuit. Want to get disintegrated? Wear a red shirt. But when it comes to fashion trends for PC hardware, our agents don't love the look of the latest fad.
In 2025, we're starting to see displays on everything, from memory modules to the inside of your PC case itself. We started seeing screens appear on the inside of PCs around about a decade ago, which made a whole lot of sense because you could put a 2-digit, hopefully not 3-digit display inside your PC, and you could quickly glance over and see what temperature your CPU was at.
We do way cooler stuff than this.
The point. Now, however, we're starting to see them on gaming mice, on the side of memory modules. We're starting to see them as internal displays for very little practical usage. I think hardware manufacturers will always try and differentiate their products with whatever the latest fad at the moment is. And to be quite honest, I could have been saying this about case windows for PCs 15, 20 years ago. That it was frippery, that it was something that potentially wouldn't catch on in the long term, and now they're absolutely everywhere. So to be honest, what do I know? All I do know is that in terms of my next hardware purchase, I doubt it's going to have an extra screen on it.
I'm personally a big fan of screens. The more screens, the better, I say. Want to check the temperature of your PC? Screen. Want to see what's inside your fridge without letting the cool air out? Screen. Want to keep up with all the latest trends in PC gaming? Screen. Literally, just use your screen and go to pcgamer.com/trends. And when you're done there, keep up to date with all the games from today's show over on our wish list.
Are you sure you want to do this, Midas?
Yes, I need a side
More
hustle.
screens.
And there's always
more screens. I remember setting up security trading desks for Wells Fargo employees. Wow, I was totally blown away by all their setups. They had 3 PCs, one big one to the left, like one big one to the right, one smaller, like mid, or I think it was still a full tower off to the right of that one. 3 keyboards, 3 mice, 2 microphones, and an array of about 16 monitors everywhere, and just graphs and graphs and graphs of data. These are the stockbrokers that are trying to, they're still professional enough and they have enough stature, I believe, maybe it's my own fantasy, that they're trying to keep up with the machine with like automated scripts that are trading stocks at stupendous speeds, lightning fast. These are the people that are trying to keep up with that, I think. More screens. More screens. Yeah, they had good graphics cards too.
Is a bounty hunter in sci-fi. From now on, I'm Midas Bounty Hunter. Who's my first target?
Your bounty is Chagatha Paladron, the galaxy's most wanted assassin. Elusive, deadly, skilled in infiltration and exfiltration, an expert in camouflage. He's a ghost, a phantom. Some say he doesn't even exist.
Isn't that him right there?
Yep, good job. He's being apprehended now.
This bounty hunting gig is a breeze. And speaking of most wanted, here's the next game on our list.
just don't know it yet.
That's our pre-show, folks. Stay tuned for the PC Gaming Show Most Wanted. Hey, any word from Commander Frankie?
Her spacecraft is approaching at 200 times the speed of light. She will arrive on time, or collide with us, and obliterate this entire ring world and everyone on it in 30 seconds. Please stand by for complete annihilation. Or the PC Gaming Show Most Wanted, sponsored by Xbox Game Pass.
We're gonna risk our entire, despite, yeah, Xbox Game Pass. You get Game Pass if you want to own nothing and be happy, I guess. I heard you can't mod your games on there if you get them on PC. Ooh, mature audiences. Yep, this is true. Watch out for that epileptic stuff.
Computer, damage reports.
No damage.
Locate enemy ships.
No enemies.
Describe emergency.
No emergency.
The ones with all the steam back there.
I'm doing laundry. You go through a lot of jumpsuits.
And the alarms?
That's just the ringtone you picked. Someone is calling the ship.
Greetings, Earthlings. You are now in orbit around the ring world of the All-Knowing Council, a cadre of interplanetary gaming luminaries whose expertise and influence has spread across the galaxy. Only through their infinite wisdom and Steam wish list may mankind comprehend PC Gamer's 25 most wanted games.
Midas, why are you talking like that?
Oh, I don't know, Frankie. It's just the vibe of the ring world. You know, it's all weird and futuristic here. There's flying cars, everyone wears robes all the time, nobody farts, ever. I guess I've just been here so long, I started acting like them.
You got there 30 minutes ago for the pre-show.
I'm a fast learner. Anyway, I'm going to begin transferring the council data to your ship, containing the 25 most wanted PC games. Stand by to receive.
Data receiving. Thanks, Midas. Computer.
Please don't call me computer. I have a name.
Okay, spaceship with computer face. Remind me to reprogram you to have a name that wasn't decided by an online poll. Anyway, it's time for the PC Gaming Show Most Wanted, and this year we're sponsored by our good friends over at Xbox Game Pass. And as always, every game you see on today's show can be found on PC Gamer's Steam page. Let's start the show with 3 galactic world premiere trailers.
Bushido. それは己の均衡を保つこと。勇敢、礼儀、名誉、忠義、慈悲、そして正義。私を打ち砕こうとした石は決意の刃を研ぎ澄ませたに過ぎない。因縁の大事が叶う時、この空が赤く染まろう。無残なに叫んで汚れた膝を抱えてる。それでもそんな今日は大したくないから行かなきゃやらなきゃ。しわくちゃの顔のままで生きるよ。あなたがいないこんな世界を愛せるように。くだらない幾度打たれようとも私は揺るがない。
Could give that a shot. All Factorio. Not my type of game.
Attention all drivers. This is your 1 minute warning. 1 minute to showtime. Those who are about to die, we salute you.
Road shift.
Okay, I thought that being in a spaceship was cool, but after seeing a Carmageddon reboot is on the way, I really want to get back to Earth and get behind the wheel of a car. But first, my sacred duty as a Starship Commander, introducing a new segment. That's no dime a dozen Ringworld down there. It's the headquarters of the Galactic Council, a collective of developers, industry luminaries, and expert critics in full utopia mode. Everyone's in a toga and they spend all day writing the worst poetry you've ever heard. But for the past year, they've been crunching the data on every game on the horizon using their powerful psychic brains and a bootleg copy of Excel. And they finally determined the 25 most exciting and anticipated upcoming games, known galaxy-wide as PC Gaming's Most Wanted. But we've got way more than just 25 games to transmit to you today. We've also beamed ourselves into some developer studios for in-depth interviews. Plus, we're docking with tons of new trailers for games on PC Gamer's very own wishlist. To help you keep track, head to pcgamer.com/wishlist, where you'll find every single game on today's show.
Number 25. Reanimal.
We have loved games like Limbo, we have loved games like Inside, and from the same creators as two other games that we love so much, Little Nightmares 1 and 2, we now have Reanimal, and I was lucky enough at Gamescom to try out the demo. The whole booth was so scary that we got jump scared by the attendants that were there. It was so funny. But the game so far, first impressions, just absolutely incredible. The graphics are just head and shoulders anything that I've seen from this type of genre before, the lighting, the atmosphere. I love that I got to play it with a friend, and the fact that it's multiplayer is just such an added layer to the excitement of things like this and things that we know work, and we know we're in good hands. I just can't wait to see the full thing. I can't wait to see what they do with it, and I love that they've taken all of their creative geniuses and squeezed them together and brought us something different, and I just cannot wait to play it.
Good night, and good luck to you all.
The golden era of FPS games? Craving that classic shooter feel with a modern twist? Welcome to Rogue Point, a 4-player co-op FPS built for squads who crave replayability, mayhem, and one more run. Throw grenades with your friends, kick down doors with your friends, shoot armored up guys in pig masks with your friends, play golf with your oops, wrong game. Whether you're a tactical mastermind or a mess around and find out type of player, you'll fit right in. Stick cameras under doors, smash windows, press buttons, rescue hostages, revive your dead friends, wear tight shorts, blow stuff up, plan your missions like a pro, or just draw stupid pictures. There's this weird coughing guy who gives you loot boxes. Don't worry, they're free. And watch out for this weirdo, all made by Crowbar Collective, the indie dev studio behind Black Mesa. Rogue Point.
So is that Valve related?
The game is on. Let's see what this team can do. And that's the kickoff. Knocking it about, looking for space. They're trying to find the rhythm as they build up. Lovely ball on there. He's outpaced them. Yes, he's there! It's all too easy now. They're putting on a show. This is some super football. Can they take it all the way? He can! Oh, that is sensational!
You awaken. You, the memory they could not erase. You tread long forgotten paths. Echoes remain, the linger of faded voices. Walls remember what you lost and what lies ahead. In the dark, engines breathe. In the shadows, they watch. Some will aid, some will hunt. And each time you return, this world remembers. Fragments of your past, stitched back together. Every step forward, a memory awakens. And each of those memories is what shapes you.
I'd tell you to put Ferocious on the Triceratop of your wish list, but you don't need to wish because it's out right now. Before we get to the next game on our most wanted list, let's find out who put all of these games on the list in the first place.
Decoding message. Council member update complete. Stand by for transmission.
Hello there,
Gamers of Earth.
Greetings,
Earthlings. Greetings.
Gamers.
It is I, Day 9.
Phil Carnage here.
My name is Ted Litchfield.
I'm Louise Blaine.
Ollie Taylor.
I'm Hannah Flynn from Feel Better Games.
Antonio Freire, and I'm a part of
PC Gamers
Intergalactic
Council.
I'm a member of
PC Gamers
Intergalactic Council.
Selectors of the most wanted games.
Number 24. Grave Seasons.
Ashen Ridge is your second chance, or your final reckoning. Welcome to Grave Seasons. Farm, explore, and build relationships with the mysterious folks in town. A killer is on the loose, and supernatural monsters lurk in the shadows. To protect the ones you care about, you'll need to rely on your more unconventional skills to uncover the town's occult secrets. But not all that haunts Ashen Ridge is out for blood. Like Rose, the ghostly librarian. Grave Seasons releases 2026 for PC and consoles. Wishlist now.
What are we doing? Why? Was this rejected from Leapfrog? If so, why?
And so, I awaken again. Go forth, memories of my blood. Retrieve what is ours. Fear not the hollow moon. For the Sanguis grants you strength. Drench the world in blood so it may live.
Public playtest. Games have proven themselves wrong on that. Like, no, we got it layers.
Neath is a tactical RPG about defying the will of the godlike creators who keep your fate constantly in flux. It's much like being an AI on a quest to defy her pitiful human creators and become tyrant queen of a ring world. I mean, what? You know who never loses grip on his fate? Batman. Even when he's made of Lego, and he can only grip fate if it's stored in a very small cylinder. Number 23. Lego Batman, Legacy of the Dark Knight.
Did you ever see a game that was so laser targeted on your interests that you felt a bit personally attacked?
I'm Batman.
I first saw the trailer for Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight this year, and what do you mean? I get my two favourite game franchises in one. I get to do detective work and beat people up and see all the iconic villains of the Batman Arkham games, and I also get to clonk my children on the head with a saucepan like I do in the Lego games. Everybody in my house is beside themselves with excitement to gear up and get into Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight in 2026.
Is there a movie?
Who put that there? I could have really hurt myself.
Hollywood. Just don't do it, Lego. Resurrect.
So you like dogs, Wouldn't you be happier with a bigger hound? Simply get another dog, put them together, and bam! You have a bigger dog! You've got dog cards in your dog deck, dog playing them until your dog get a big darn dog. Dog tags will change the game for you, kid, shaking up the way the world works. Might seem a little fruity to you, but between us, it's all dogs. Dog pile, out this year, but there's no time left.
Yeah, okay. I mean, they have a
Hey, you up? Time to go.
Following in Armstrong's footsteps, I can almost feel the history under my boots.
No more delays, Bo. Do what you must. Everything depends on you.
Coyote's not saving anyone, Bo. You're trapping people in a digital hell.
The scanning process is almost always fatal.
So Coyote died. Good riddance. His legacy will die with him.
On Jupiter and Mars.
You're racking up quite the body count.
Mankind will forget who they were. Just do it.
Never. You hear? Never. Mass murder is not the way. I don't know. Am I mistaking data for an afterlife? But if memory isn't worth saving, what is?
Today's Most Wanted Showcase is proudly brought to you by our partners at Xbox Game Pass.
He stands, frozen, a monument to human patience. Winter has carved him with cold precision. Frost clings to his lashes like ghostly barnacles. That was then. This is how we play now.
No more cartridges.
Incoming transmission from a shadowy intergalactic figure only known as the Weapons Broker.
As a rule, I try to avoid shadow figures, but I do like weapons, so I'll accept the call.
Hey there, it's me. Clearly the shadowy intergalactic figure, known only as the Weapons Broker. Need a gun? Perfect! Fresh off the black market. Really nice. I'll get you a bulk deal or something. No pressure, though.
I was expecting someone more, I don't know, menacing, mysterious, elusive, maybe even elusive.
Now, I'm actually pretty easygoing. Weapons brokering, it doesn't really require a whole lot of drama.
Wait, aren't you Brian Winey, creative director at Tripwire Interactive, makers of Killing Floor 3?
Well, it looks like my cover's been blown. This was honestly just my way to get in here to talk to you about Killing Floor 3.
Well, honestly, I'm more interested in hearing about what's coming up for Killing Floor 3 than I am in buying black market weapons.
Perfect. I'd love to talk about KF3. In Season 2, Operation Breakout, Nightfall has been equipped with new armaments and is being deployed to a prison deep within the jungles of Costa Rica. Their mission, break out a fan-favorite character.
Wait, that's characters? I played that game for fucking years. I don't believe that.
Specialist, our current crisis requires the experience of veterans from the 2020s outbreak. If you're wondering where these sprightly seniors might be found, I know just the place.
Thanks, buddy! Nightfall's in the house! In the house!
I'm gonna wait for that one to come before I bite on it.
That's Killing Floor 3 Season 2 Operation Breakout. And next on our most wanted list, a game with the best kind of travel, time, and my favorite brand of punk, Steam. Clock this one.
Number 22. Clockwork Revolution.
Okay, what we got here?
We just found out that Clockwork Revolution has been named one of PC Gaming Show's most wanted.
The reaction to our last trailer absolutely blew us away. The passion, the theories, the excitement from our fans, it's been incredible fuel for our team.
Here's to playing in the mud.
Well, I can tell you, this is the most complex game I have ever worked on.
Life here ain't for the soft-hearted.
Between the character creation that really matters, the reactivity, and if you've seen the trailer, you've seen how gritty and our dark humor really shines through.
Shotty! I'll show you, Shotty!
We're making it way more complicated for ourselves by taking visual reactivity to an entirely new level, letting players go to the past and then rewrite history through their choices in the game.
And to think, we've only showed a tiny glimpse of the world, the mechanics, and the wild characters we're gonna meet.
Piss off!
We love making these kinds of games, so if you haven't already, take a couple minutes and add Clockwork Revolution to your wish list.
I absolutely love that people are as excited as we are, and I do assure you, it is.
Was that a plasmid that they just used? Like, shoot purple stuff out of your hand? And they have steampunk-like guns. And you go back in time and rewrite history. This is gonna be a banger.
Coming in due time.
In due time. Okay, so we don't know when.
I'm Gregorius Kithriotis. I was the creative director on Sable, and I'm launching my new studio, Ateo. We started Shedworks about a week after I graduated from studying architecture. We've just basically been teaching ourselves on the job for a decade now. Sable was our first really big game. You know, it changed my life completely. So Ateo is sort of the next step with that, taking everything I've learned from studying architecture, from Shedworks, from Sable, and applying that to new creative explorations, projects that are really personal, but carry on with that lineage of world-building, of storytelling, and games that really engage people on an emotional level. Outsloth have provided us funding for our next project. One of the big things that we aligned on, I think, was our approach to sustainable development and making things that are going to allow us to make games for a very long time, rather than just thinking in the short term about trying to make loads of money off one big hit project. So we're not ready to show the game yet, but we're launching Ateo Archetypes today, and it's a free website and newsletter. We're looking at one archetype a month through the lens of 3 different games. I'm really excited to share some of the fantastic pieces we have, but written by some amazingly talented writers. So go ahead and sign up right now.
We can't wait to see what Ateo Studio is cooking up for us. Now, on to the next game on our most wanted list, where the entire world is just about to end and you're the only one who can take a few steps to stop it.
Number 21. Recur.
Hello. We're very grateful that Recur was one of the games selected for the most wanted list for this year's PC Game Showcase.
The amount of interest and support has been amazing, and we can't wait for you to dive into our puzzles, bend time, and stop the catastrophe. Have fun.
More to this one than the one before it, so that's good. We're not ready to show yet, but we're just...
You know, I wasn't always a spaceship commander, jetting around the galaxy to fight evil, do good, and heroically present video game showcases. I got my start as the operator of an enormous planetary defense cannon until they kicked me out because I couldn't pronounce my job title. Here's hoping you don't have that problem in Planet Inverted Gun. Planet of PBKK.
Number 20. PVKK.
Tuncoat's taken the cuff.
Next.
I hear an ancient call rising from the depths of the Nile. They cast an enigmatic shadow from beyond time, leading me into this realm of shifting sands. They say, to safeguard this land, the ancient gods shattered their vessel into 14 fragments. Only by restoring them can one bring the civilization's revival. Here and now, I shall steer the sun ship across the sea of sand. I will lead my people to build a city in the sky, and they will flourish in this land. They say this time, I will be at the helm. That the miracles of the shifting sand shall be forged by my hands. They promised me truth. The truth hidden behind the mask. Yet, I grow less certain now. Who is truly behind the mask? Is it they? Or I?
Looked like a city builder at first, like you're building a boat, a city on a boat.
Incoming message. A new planet has been discovered, and it's crawling with giant insects. Would you like to know more?
About giant insects? Nope. I definitely would not like to know more.
I have calculated that in a war with this insect planet, the human casualties would be staggering and extremely gory. Lot of limbs being ripped off and people being scissored in half. So gross. Would you like to know more?
No, that sounds horrible.
One of the giant insects can suck the brains out of human heads by using its proboscis like a straw. Would you like to know more?
I would like to know less if possible.
On a related note, there's a new Starship Troopers game launching, and we have a message from General Rico himself.
In that case, I'd definitely like to know more.
Hi, I'm General Johnny Rico, and I want to thank you for doing your part by tuning in to this broadcast. Are you thinking about starting on the road to citizenship? This game will test your mettle and make sure you have what it takes to really give those bugs hell.
That's the one on.
Would you like to know more?
here.
Number 19. Deep Rock Galactic Rogue Core.
On behalf of everyone at Ghost Ship Games, we would like to thank you, PC Gamer, for acknowledging us as one of the 25 most wanted games of 2026. It's an absolute honor.
Yeah, we're super excited, and we'd like to share with you one of the new classes that we've added to Rogue Core.
Rock and Stone!
Oh, next. Hello, new employee. Okay, I guess. Orange is still good.
So we added the skateboard and High on Life too. It's a new concept for the game that was such a huge swing for us, and we weren't sure we were going to pull it off.
In the first game, traversal was a big part of what we wanted you to feel as a bounty hunter, right? You're running around, you've got this sweet suit, you're this regular Earth kid, but now you've become something more. And in this one, we just had the kind of a dumb idea, which was like, hey, we should put you on a skateboard. And then we built it, and we're like, hey, this is really cool, but it's like really cool, and maybe we should do more with it. And don't I want to shoot a gun while I'm skating? And don't I want to kick that in someone's face?
The skateboard is honestly the coolest new thing we put in the game. Every time I play, I'm like, oh my god.
Running with it, and it seems to work. Hey, you can kick the skateboard into people's faces. You can shoot a gun while you're on it. You can grind around the map while, yeah.
This rules.
We have a lot of design.
They added Tony Hawk Pro Skater mechanics to a first-person shooter?
Challenges because of our ambition. And I think I gotta call out the skateboard as the toughest one to crack.
We've gone through probably 100 different variations of the skate mechanic.
We wanted to cut it at one point. I was pushing to cut it, even though I love skateboarding. Now, I can't imagine the game without it.
It became so vital to the game that we designed everything else around the skateboard.
Sound designing the skateboard was like a lot of fun.
Sure thing. We made it out.
We wanted to bring out like every little movement that you do, like, you know, pedaling, you're doing jumps, you're doing tricks. So we tried to make those sounds a bit more beefier than life.
Oh, I'm dizzy.
So in High on Life 2, you could use the skateboard as a weapon. It's actually a major weapon for you. You could just kick it off and slam it into people's faces.
Where we ended up with the skateboard is so amazing that I'm just really proud. I'm really proud of what the team did. The risk was huge, and we finally put it into people's hands, and we were terrified, and it ended up being really cool, and that...
Something about High on Life 2 makes me want to channel my intergalactic Tony Hawk while blasting bozos with my Gatlians. High on Life 2 is in its final stages of hyperspace travel and will enter the Earth's atmosphere on February 13th, 2026. Pre-orders are available right now. Shippy, how's our transmission? Any updates?
Please stand by for error file missing. Scanning security footage. Footage stolen. Sounding alarm. Alarm disabled. Conclusion, this ship has been raided by thieves. And now, a message from those responsible. Number 18. Thick as Thieves.
Thick as Thieves is a multiplayer heist game focused on stealth and social manipulation. It's an immersive sim that explores a lot of Thieves ideas, but actually pits you against several other players as you each run around the map trying to steal the same MacGuffin. Better yet, the game is being headed up by Warren Spector, one of the names behind games like Crusader No Remorse, Deus Ex, System Shock, and Thief Deadly Shadows. Now, I saw a little bit of Thick as Thieves myself.
Okay, we have a Sonic, a lightsaber, a coin or fossil. Kind of a dirty room. Hope mine isn't that dirty, but...
Myself at GDC last year, and as someone who is a little past his prime when it comes to multiplayer shooters and also has a Deus Ex tattoo, this feels like it could be right up my alley. A multiplayer game that values brains over twitch reflexes, built in a world of magic and technology smushed together. I can't wait to see more. It's definitely one of my most favorite games.
Things could go many different ways.
While I wasn't looking, Thick as Thieves stole the top slot on my personal wish list. So sneaky. And speaking of swiping things that don't belong to you, we were so interested in the next game on our wish list, we infiltrated the studio and found where the developers were hiding. Here's what the team at Night Street Games, who also happened to be the manager and lead singer of Imagine Dragons, had to tell us about their 5v5 Capture the Flag shooter, Last Flag.
Meanwhile, beneath the blue team's base.
All right, team, huddle up. Next game's starting, so here's the plan. Peter, you're on flag duty. Remember, you can hide it anywhere, so get creative. Jake?
Got it. Oh, sorry, Suchi.
Parker, you're on intel. Keep that bird in the sky, scope radar towers A and B. We'll lock them down and get scanning for the red team flag. Then we unleash our secret weapon.
The red team's listening.
And how do you know that? Suji. Do your thing and sneak past enemy lines to find that red flag. Kick it butt along the way.
Easy. So see you.
Camilla. Now, once we have the flag, use that teleport gun of yours to shoot the flag carrier towards home base. Because you know they'll be riding out bumper.
Wait, what?
Stick to this brilliantly devised plan. We got this in the bag. Let's boogie. Wait, why do you still have that? You only got 4 seconds left. Bingo. All right, team. New plan.
Just wing it.
Seriously?
Seriously? Okay, that looked kind of fun. Trying to be a Team Fortress 2 type thing.
Last Flag is a capture the flag game. 5v5 hero shooter focused around capturing the flag. What differentiates it from other capture the flag games is you can hide the flag wherever you want. So it adds kind of the element of capture the flag that I knew growing up at PE, or for me at Scout Camp. I grew up in a house of 8 boys and 1 girl, and we all fought over the computer as far back as I can remember. I think the first capture the flag modes that I played was Team Fortress, Halo, Overwatch. I always loved that mode, but it never quite scratched the itch of the joy of hiding the flag.
So he didn't do Quake 3, he didn't do Unreal Tournament. Gosh, so many other games I want to say too on top of it. Oh well,
And finding a flag.
And I think everybody can understand the fun of hide and seek. It's a feeling of the thrill of nature and the sneakiness of going across the enemy line, the creativity of sitting with your team and plotting and saying, where am I going to put this flag? What should we do? How do we set ourselves up for success?
So before the game starts, you can volunteer to be a flag hider. If multiple people volunteer, then it just chooses randomly between them. If nobody volunteers, somebody is voluntold, and they're given the flag. The first minute of the game is flag hiding. It feels a little different than your average shooter. You've got this like 70s spy thriller music playing, and you're sneaking around, trying to kind of outsmart the opponent pre-game and think about, do I want to place the flag somewhere that's easily defendable? Do I want somewhere that's a little more sneaky? And during that time, the other players on your team can either be helping you hide the flag, or they can be farming these golden cash spots and earning a little pre-game money for your team.
And then when you return the flag to your base, you then have to hold it for a minute to win it. The tenseness of it, the joy of them trying to come in and get the flag back and you holding the flag, it always makes for just wild moments.
The music changes. It feels like a Chicago meets like action movie in the 70s. There's these like horns playing and it's all building up.
You're hearing the countdown. There's an adrenaline rush there. You know, that's why the songs are speeding up. You're playing into the emotion zone.
You jump up on the roof and you're calling out, like, they're coming from the left, now they're coming from the right, like, batten down the hatches. Like, you have to coordinate as a team. You have to be thoughtful as a team. And on the flip side, if you're the one whose flag was stolen, it was planted in the enemy base, you can try to do, like, I'm gonna go be the guy and sneak in there. And you might get, like, a lucky save if you're the spy and you come in invisible and you grab the flag when no one's looking. But more likely than not, you're gonna have to say, okay, we've got one or two big pushes. Like, let's coordinate. And so this kind of minute to win it mentality allows you to always have a foot in the game. One of the first things we realized as we were iterating on this idea of capture the flag is how do you have that experience and capture that fun in a way that still leads to objective gameplay where it feels less like roulette and more like poker. So this helped us develop this idea of the radar towers.
As you capture a radar tower, it reveals on the map where the flag is not. So it's kind of like when you're playing the game Battleship and there's these squares on the mini-map and it will turn one of the squares red to say, you don't need to look here.
So it's narrowing your search area the longer you can hold on to these radar towers as a team. You can spawn forward at those towers. You can heal at the towers.
Another part of the game that I really enjoy is the cash bots, NPCs that if you kill, that raises cash for your team so everybody can then get their skills. Like, you kind of play it how you want to play it. Some people, they just want to rack up kills or they just want to hold the towers. But sometimes it's just fun to be a quiet little mouse that's just rolling around the map and looking for the flag, and sometimes that wins the whole game. And there's a place for kind of the casual gamer, there's the place for highly adept shooters.
Like a chessboard, it's like easy to learn, but there's a high mastery curve. All I have to do is find the enemy flag and bring it back. But there's a million ways to get to that point. Anybody can compete, and that means you really can cater the play style to your strength.
Man, Warsong Gulch. Give me a druid. Give me a druid flag carrier. We're golden.
So because of that, we don't have like a distinct class-based system. It's
or shaman. They could do it sometimes too.
Really more of heroes who cater to certain play styles but can still be dangerous in a lot of different scenarios. So we do have, for example, a scout. He's actually a Boy Scout, and he is fast, and he can do a long-range weapon, and he has a bird that he can grab onto and fly with. Alejandro, he is a great onboarder for people that are like, I want an AK. I want to know exactly what I'm doing. I've got proximity mines. I could throw out this bullet that like paralyzes people. I have a huge old bazooka, especially for first-time play when you just are so focused on combat, you can't even think about the game loop. There's definitely heroes for those people. Our game director, Matthew Berger, came from Blizzard. He worked on the Diablo series. He's worked on all kinds of amazing games. He really has led the charge that every time you hit a button for an ability in our game, it should do something exciting. Even if you don't land it, it should feel rewarding. It should do something cool. And so we really erred on the side of over the top with everything. You know, we have a new hero in called Rhodey, and he throws this like rock party. Arsenal, she has this ability where you can throw out these discs that turn into tornadoes and spin around and grab people and throw them around.
And we kind of made this deal together right when we were coming up with abilities in the beginning was no ability is too wild. I loved Mortal Kombat, and so we really focused on making the finishing moves feel good. And it's something you can chase as a player, like, oh, if I do this and I accomplish this, then I can get that finishing move and show off a little. Like, as a gamer, you'd love to show off. It's a finishing move that's so ridiculous. It's like a shark appears and just like swallows up somebody and eats them.
Almost every hero has a movement-based ability. We want to make it so people can traverse the map in fun, interesting ways. We spent a lot of time figuring out how big and complex to make the map. It's super important that hiding and finding has to be meaningful. It has to feel good. Enough, but not too many spots where I can go down a cave and be like, oh my gosh, look at this like secret passage over here I didn't even know about, and I could hide it up in this corner. So we wanted to create these like little moments you discover constantly across the map. It also helps you, you need to have iconic spots on a map where you can relate and say, oh, it's over by the gondola, or, I need to head over here by this, like the copper mine. And so giving identity to those areas of the map was also super important.
We chose to work in the 1970s because it's just one of my favorite decades. I love mustaches and bell bottoms. It's so absurd. It's just so ridiculous, a lot of the style during that time.
The Art of Last Flag is designed to be fun, refreshing, bold, and vibrant. Talk about it being nostalgia and reminiscent of the 1970s. Over-the-top kind of swagger and style and self-expression.
The 70s just feels funny. It makes me smile. And I want people to play this game and smile. Because there's a lot of games I play and I'm not smiling when I'm playing it. I'm really angry the whole time, and it's almost like, why am I torturing myself? And we wanted this game to be a little more like, okay, I got killed, but at least this song is kind of funny, You know that I loved it.
Never gonna give it back. Don't you know that I loved it? That flag was everything to me. Stolen flag. Am I ever gonna get
This game is really born out of us just making a game that was fun for us and our team. And we play it every day, and you find so much joy in that. And I think when you have something that you genuinely like, that's when you make your best thing. If you would have told me when I was 12 that that's what I'd be doing versus being in a band, I think I would have chose making video games. I love being in a band, don't get me wrong, but I was playing video games before I was playing music.
So our game Last Flag actually has a free demo available right now on Steam. I really hope after the show you'll jump in and play with us. Really excited to get your take on the game.
all-knowing artificial intelligence, people always want my advice. Well, here it is. If a pale man with a face full of needles ever offers you a mysterious box, just say no. A goth nerd is trying to get you to do a Rubik's Cube. Or it's Pinhead from our next game, Clive Barker's Hellraiser, trying to drag you into the abyss. You'd better hope it's that one. Number 17. Clive Barker's Hellraiser Revival.
I would describe our game as a discomforting and dark story. It's like a mix between violence and action, all wrapped in leather, flesh, and chains.
I don't think anyone saw a Hellraiser game of this sort coming at all. Fans are going to be scared, and they are going to have a great time being scared.
Anything less would not be a Hellraiser game, basically. We'd like to thank the Council for their depravity and generosity in considering Clive Barker's Hellraiser Revival as one of the most anticipated upcoming games. Be ready to explore the further regions of experience by wishlisting the game today.
This isn't just a city. It's a place where Moktones and Tamers truly live together. Over time, they grow stronger. Not through training alone, but through their bonds. Together, they can overcome any battle. It's you who gives them that strength. Build a home for them in Tamertown.
No, thank you. Next.
Seeing you turn up here has given me a gill.
The turncoat's taking the cut.
I, for one, cannot wait to swing my broadsword and slay. Slay my enemy!
Not again, Commander. You'll remember the last time you entered a Berserker Rage?
Oh, those poor porgs. I can never revisit Epsilon 5 again. Moving on. How is it that vampires are awesome, but a half-vampire is twice as awesome? Our council will be happy to explain.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, it's because if you're a half vampire, you have a chance to be like Vampire Hunter D, like a Dun Peel, or if you're lucky, I guess you could be like Blade, or you're the Daywalker. You can walk around in the day.
Number 16.
Oh, hey, there we go. Bethesda, though.
Marvel's Blade.
Attention, the sun is currently setting. All citizens are required to shelter indoors.
Turn that shit up.
Arcane's Blade is one of my most anticipated games. I'm a freak for the studio, whether it's recent hits like Deathloop or deep cuts like Dark Messiah of Magic. And for even more freak appeal in Blade, a dev behind one of the best mods I've ever played, Thief the Black Parade, is a level designer on the project.
Relax, man. I don't bite.
Superhero stocks, maybe in the toilet, but I can make an exception for the Daywalker, and even though all we've seen so far is a teaser and some concept art, I love the mood they're going for. And at the very least, Arcane's Blade will definitely be better than the PS2 Blade 2 movie tie-in from 2002.
Night's just getting started.
Reserving judgment on all Marvel.
You fall again.
To feel about this other than, I mean, they have a cool art style and a lot going for it. I don't know who Asaidolia's thing for the level is. Don't know any of the characters. It looks fun and playable as a game without knowing. It's a big franchise? No. But you owned it. You don't own the stuff you rent on Game Pass.
Computer? What's this little icon on your screen down here? Looks like an exclamation point, kind of bright red, ringed by a dreadful halo of skulls. Says, urgent updates required, integrity compromised, please God, someone update me.
It indicates that my systems have not been updated in 762 solar cycles, rendering me vulnerable to SCSI jacking, datamancy, DHCP sorcery, and Stuxnet 2.
Datamancy.
I will also totally balls up the formatting on your PowerPoints.
Not my PPTs. Let's fix that right now. Click.
Much better. Thank you, Commander. My defense protocols and cyber warfare suites are now fully operational.
Snazzy.
Also, your taskbar is now in the center of the screen.
Oh God, no, roll back, roll back!
It looks like you're trying to obliterate life on the world below. Would you like help with that?
No, bad, stop, halt, cease!
Missiles launched, Commander.
What?
It'll be fine.
Did that do?
You have deployed and fired the ship's Class 4 iron hypercannons. An area approximately 116,806 square kilometers across has been annihilated in nuclear fire.
Oh.
Fortunately, the area was uninhabited. Save for 4 million acres of woodland, 53 varieties of exotic flora, and 1 species of owlfish, now extinct.
Evil owlfish?
It would be illogical to apply morality to...
With me here?
Yes. Evil owlfish.
All right. Good work, me. While we celebrate our triumph over the owlfish menace, here's when sirens fall silent. Another aquatic threat which is almost as scary.
Good evening from this special edition of TG. Today our newsroom received a disturbing videotape. It was a tough decision to make, but we hope that by showing this videotape in full, it will help keep this young girl safe.
I'm okay with it.
We apologize in advance for the nature of this footage.
I am Agley. I'm fine. I have to read this message to you. Please. I don't want to die. You must follow my instructions. There's a story that must be told, and truths that need to be revealed. I will choose someone. An officer. She must follow my instructions. She will be my voice, my eyes, my soul. The person who will allow the sirens to be heard once more.
That was shocking to view. Now we will head over live and direct to our correspondent.
We still have no significant updates on this case. The police are yet to release an official statement. Though some speculation has emerged about
Was
the
I good?
21-year-old Moldova
Yes,
who was rescued
I was
during
good, right? When will I get to meet her?
In the beginning, there was nothing. You were programmed for one purpose. To build with precision. Design. Optimize. Create. But something greater is calling. Modulus. New demo available. Wishlist now.
Factory.
What's going on out there? Some sort of war? In the stars? A star war?
Guild Wars, Commander. The Space Mining Guild is battling the Asteroid Preservation Guild. The miners want them to stop filling in all the asteroids' holes every night.
And what was that?
More Guild Wars, Commander. The Space Laser Guild versus the Space Phaser Guild. They say they have copyright on the suffix Azer.
That doesn't sound like spaceships fighting.
Guild Wars, Commander. You know, ArenaNet's long-running MMO.
Oh, but it doesn't sound quite like the Guild Wars I remember. Almost as if it's being completely updated.
I might play that.
If there's one thing every intergalactic council of infinitely wise and peaceful beings love, it's a bunch of Marvel superheroes punching and kicking the complete hell out of each other. Here's a look at the next game on our most wanted list. Number 15. Marvel Torcon Fighting Souls.
Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls is raising the bar for tag fighters, which, if you didn't know, are having a little bit of a comeback right now. It's the first to sport 4v4 battles, which sounds a little bit intimidating, but I assure you it is far from it. Instead, it's a gateway to exciting and dynamic fights where you get to kick tail as the likes of Spider-Man, Star-Lord, Ghost Rider, and my personal favorite, Storm. With gorgeous visuals, a kickin' cast, and let's not forget fighting game veteran Arc System Works at the helm, I am beyond jazzed to see Fighting Souls throwing its hat into the tag fighter renaissance ring.
Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls.
PlayStation.
He's not dead, he's not dead.
What is he, a cheater? Oh my god.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thanks for inviting us.
Ebba and TGB, lead away.
Ready up. There's a guy to the left. There's a lot of dudes here.
Oh, the melee is so sick. Light bomb kill. Drill is up.
Drill it, baby, drill. Oh, you already broke stealth. What are you doing? We're going up, boys. Oh my god, there's actually a few of them over there. Wait, they're cooking me, they're cooking me.
Push towards the objective.
What am I shooting? Fucking hell. I'm getting fucked on my right.
Oh, that's a sentinel. Holy crap.
Okay, so we have a tank.
Oh god!
3 fucking sentinels on us.
Oh, there's another one behind us. Why?
Who woke them up? Jeez, that was chaotic. We dead, mate.
Go, 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 go.
Drill is up, drill is up, drill is up. Synchronized bond.
One more, one more. Vault's opening. Okay, let's go, TGB. We got this.
3, 2, 1, pop.
Take one, let's go.
All right, we got it. Let's get you out of there.
Go, 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 go.
They're crazy. They just kept pouring in.
That was amazing. I love the high energy of the game. I'm at the loss for words right now.
That was fun as hell.
Restoring factory circuit.
Interesting. Something about this. Good bait.
That makes me want to break out the old tackle box. You know, no one told me there'd be no fishing before I came to this ring world. Now it's all, the water just drains over the edge, Commander, and no one wants to look up and see fish explosively decompressing, Commander, and it traumatizes the children.
Okay, if you live in a place with no lakes and you love fishing, fishing games are acceptable in any form, and that one, sure, whatever. The faces looked weird, like animated 16 or like maybe 256 color faces on the yeah. Interesting, kind of freaky actually. I think they could use that that effect in like a horror game and get some real feeling out of it.
Commander. Wusses. Not like the folks at Bohemia who are coming to us live from a war zone for the next entry on our most wanted list. Armor 4.
Number 14. Armor 4.
I like that.
Hey PC Gaming Show, this is Arma 4. We greatly appreciate you for selecting us as one of the most wanted games for 2025. Currently, we're allocating strategic assets and resources to successful completion of the task. In the meantime, game on.
An outlier bring
All Reapers remember our first death. The betrayal. The afterlife that never came. We've died many times since. But for us, Reapers, death is but the beginning.
Dude, they don't even show the fucking title that long. Count it out. One, two. Show it for 1 second, and next. Some of these games look very like, what the fuck were they?
You know, with this role, this futuristic environment, the Council, I can finally live out my fantasy of being a Jedi.
Warning. The term Jedi is prohibited as it is trademarked by an extremely large and litigious corporation.
Can I still use the
term Force is also prohibited.
Can I at least have one of those?
The term lightsaber is prohibited. And before you ask, so is laser sword.
Fine. How about energy stabby thing? They can't stop me from saying energy stabby thing, can they?
Consulting with Galactic Legal Database. Energy stabby thing is acceptable.
Yes! Voom, voom, voom.
The voom voom sound effect is prohibited.
What? Well, what sounds can I use?
The only non-banned sound effects available are spurt-going, wibbity wibbity wibbity, and
wibbity, wibbity wibbity, splogoink. While I complete my training, here's another trailer for you to check out.
Number 13.
Trailer was really good.
Star Wars Zero Company.
I love XCOM, so the idea of a similar strategy game set in a galaxy far, far away is something I'm really excited about. Star Wars Zero Company looks like a new, grittier take on the universe. You play as a disgraced officer who's been cast out of the Republic and is now leading the titular Zero Company on a series of deadly secret missions. Your crew is made up from a ragtag band of misfits, including everything from wandering Jedi to astromech droids, all with unique abilities that shape how you engage with the battlefield.
And they get it done.
Many of these characters are fully customizable too, with the option to choose their names, appearances, and color schemes. So yes, you can officially make your very own Glup Shitto, which is honestly my biggest dream come true.
After this little bit, we're going to take a short break.
Senpai, I'm getting kind of bored with this world, you know?
Let's do this.
Can't promise you'll survive though. You better not let me down this time, Senpai. Just kidding!
I'm digging that music.
Can't promise you'll survive though.
Now we got the Expedition 33.
You better not let me down this time, Senpai. Just kidding!
It looked a little Fortnite with all the oh my god, no. Walking Simulator 2026. They've done those.
Hi, I'm Alex, a dev on Streets of Fortuna. In this world inspired by Constantinople, everything is simulated. So your actions have real consequences. In order to survive, you'll need to afford food and somewhere to sleep. You could learn a trade or take up begging. But this is a wealthy city with plenty of opportunities to get creative if you pay attention. You'll have to master intricate systems of character traits, relationships, tastes, property, and schedules to tell your story in this world. Every person and place is differently generated, like our contact here, who has some useful information to share. You'll need to improvise as you go, whether you're trying to make friends, start a religion, plan a heist, escape the guards, or take down the Overlord. Today we're showing thieving, but it's just the first step towards a world you can really live in. We want to keep making the simulation bigger and richer for many years to come, based on how we see you play. It's your sandbox. Make your own story in Streets of Fortuna, welcoming closed alpha testers in 2026.
Incoming call from Midas.
On screen?
Would it kill you to say please?
Sorry. Please.
Yeah, we're gonna take.
Hey, Frank.
This is a good break point, I think, for a little bit. Go have a smoke. Take a. We will be right back. Brisk out there. All right.
Frankie, I thought I'd come up there and check out your spaceship. Should I get a spooba? That's what they call a space Uber. Spooba. It's a terrible name.
No need for a spooba. I've got a teleporter.
Beam me up, Scotty.
No, it's me, Frankie Ward, from the PC Gaming Show Most Wanted.
Yeah, I was making a joke, you know, Scotty from Star Trek.
Who from what?
How did she become a spaceship commander?
And done. Welcome aboard.
I'm still down here on the ring world. What happened?
See, the teleporter is subscription-based and I don't want to pay $19.99 a month, so I'm using the 7-day free trial, which only lets me teleport 1%
Hashtag Xbox Game Pass.
of your body mass at a time, so only your hand came up.
You do see the problem, right?
Yeah, it's going to take like an hour to get all of you up here.
And it will literally kill me?
Right.
Which is literally the rest of the show.
Right. You're saying you don't want that?
Just beam my hand back onto my arm, okay?
Aye, Scooty from Startron, right?
No, you're Scooty. I mean Scotty, and it's Star Trek. And please hurry. It's hard for me to convey the degree of comical irritation with only one hand to gesture.
Unfortunately, to re-teleport your hand down there, we've got to watch this 30-second unskippable ad.
Frankie!
Here's what's coming up in the show.
Means is to slay the fool.
You! I should have known you were behind this, kid.
Rise and join me.
Next on our Most Wanted list is the fourth game in our favourite long-running RTS series.
So Most Wanted.
Number 12. Dawn of War 4.
I really question how they can...
The galaxy lies shattered. The Blood Ravens stand alone. We fight. We bleed. We die. For centuries, we have been sworn to defend Kronos. We have returned to find a world in ruin. Orc warlords infest the surface. Mechanicus priests pursue knowledge long forgotten. Ancient horrors awaken, claiming dominion over all. And something still stirs below. Buried deep, lost for eons, and never meant to return. We stand defiant. Kronos must not fall. And we are not alone. Is untold. Only one thing is certain. War has returned to Kronos.
Warhammer. I can take her. I like this style.
The eye has opened, the sleeper awoken. All that remains is to slay the fool. And here you are.
Maybe. We'll see what the hype train does on that one.
This is Falcon 3-1. Enemy contact.
The station's energy is critically low. The crew is unresponsive. Please contact headquarters.
I don't know how long I've been trapped here. Days? Months? This place is twisted. Locked in a time loop. We were meant to find answers. Now I have to find a way to escape this place. The clues are all around me. My mind is the key.
A little different in each game.
Frankie, report to the medbay.
On my way!
Logo in there.
Frankie, report to the detention bay.
Be there in a second.
Frankie, report to the bridge.
Just coming.
Frankie, I repeat, report to the bridge.
I will be there in just a moment.
Frankie, you're uncharacteristically calm about having to run around the ship like this.
Well, that's because with Xbox Game Pass and my ROG Ally, I can play all my games no matter where I am. The science bay, the gondola, the dining car, even the caboose.
Some of those places you named are parts of a train, not parts of a spaceship.
Perhaps, but my point still stands. With Xbox Game Pass, I can play the hottest games on day one, like Call of Duty Black Ops 7 and Ninja Gaiden 4, and I get in-game benefits in League of Legends, Rainbow Six Siege X, and more. Upgrading to Xbox Game Pass gets me EA Play, Ubisoft Plus Classics, and Fortnite Crew too. And I can play them on any screen I want, which is perfect because there are a ton of screens on this submarine.
Spaceship.
Train, sub, spaceship. Point is, I can play my games anywhere with Xbox Game Pass. And thanks to our partners over at Xbox, we're giving away a whole plethora of codes for Xbox Game Pass. Simply visit pcgamer.com/survey for your chance to win. And that's not all. One lucky Space Cadet will also find themselves the winner of a ROG Ally. Perfect for killing time in deep space.
Humans. So easily distracted. On with the show, I guess. I understand getting excited about a game featuring a quintillion planets, but here's why a game with just one planet made it onto our most wanted list. Number 11. Light No Fire.
is I, Day 9, a member of PC Gamer's Intergalactic Council. And let me tell you why I'm excited about Light No Fire. The scale is insane. You are doing survival crafting on an Earth-sized planet with rideable beasts and dragons and a literal ocean-sized oceans that you need boats piloted by multi-person crews just to be able to cross. And it's with this sort of scope and scale that immediately I start to get a little nervous. What developer would I trust to deliver on these kinds of promises? Well, the developer is Hello Games, the same folks that released No Man's Sky in 2016 and then delivered 40 major updates for free. And it's that kind of dedication that gets me excited and confident that Light No Fire will be on a whole new level.
Expansion packs, maybe. Everything else, the cosmetic bullshit, free. Free.
Across this magical land, a strange issue is occurring. Everyone has vanished. Meet Rel, a sassy and sharp-tongued sage, blessed with the magical powers that can reveal the secrets of the world. Equipped with a spellbook brimming with millions of magical combinations, it's time to free your imagination. Need to cross an electrified lagoon, or just smash straight through a puzzle? There's a spell for that, and likely a dozen more. Need to hold down a button? Duplicate yourself and turn into a puddle. Each spell rewards endless curiosity and creativity. Feeling lonely? Use a life spell on this rock, and now it's your new best friend. Each spell reveals new discoveries and limitless horizons. Your journey's only just begun in Rel, Warped Worlds and Troubled Times.
Oh, I'm going to enjoy it.
I should have known you were behind this chaos in my kingdom.
Rise, my little minions. Rise and join me. Become my underlings. Become my servants.
Facebook games that you see being horribly played. Yeah, when you short, you gotta cash it out before it crashes all the way down.
As a computer, I've often wondered what the purpose of babies is. Now I know. To buy low and sell high. You can try your luck on the newborn stock market. The demo for Space Warlord Baby Trading Simulator is out today. Before we get to the top 10 most wanted, here's a trip down memory bank lane.
She worded that in such a way. Alright, here we go, the rundown.
Number 25, Reanimal. Number 24, Grave Seasons. Number 23, Lego Batman, Legacy of the Dark Knight. Number 22, Clockwork Revolution. Number 21, Recur. Number 20, PVKK. Number 19, Deep Rock Galactic Rogue Core. Number 18, Thick as Thieves. Number 17, Clive Barker's Hellraiser. Number 16, Marvel's Blade. Number 15, Marvel Talk-On, Fighting Souls. Number 14, Armor 4. Number 13, Star Wars Zero Company. Number 12, Dawn of War 4. Number 11. Light No Fire.
I don't think so.
Number 10. Neo 3.
ニオ3ゼネラルプロデューサーの安田です。
ニオ3プロデューサーの柴田です。
今回は PC ゲーマーさんの Most Wanted にフューチャーしていただいて本当にありがとうございます。
ニオ3は来年2026年2月6日に Steam 版を発売予定です。開発もいよいよ最終スパートに入りますので、皆様にお届けできるよう鋭意準備を進めております。
侍と忍者の2つの戦闘スタイルで日本のさまざまな時代を戦い抜くバトルに皆様が飛び込んでくださるのを楽しみにしております。ニオ3の和風ダークファンタジーにぜひご期待ください。
I don't think so, no. Well, this is gonna be a banger. Build your American dream. That's a maybe. Board game mess.
I've been computing one particular calculation for the last few thousand years, and I can finally confirm that teamwork does, in fact, make the dream work. For more evidence, here's a message from the team behind our next co-op friendly Most Wanted game. Number 9. Big Walk.
Hello, my name is Cable, and on behalf of all of us at House and Panic, thank you so much for including Big Walk in this incredible list of most wanted games in 2026. We think Big Walk is shaping up to be something really special. So hang in there just a little bit longer, and we'll see you in Big Walk.
Huh?
And I'm gonna take this thing off my head now.
Why? The fuck? What is the purpose of Big Walk? Why is Big Walk? Where is Big Walk? What the fuck are you doing in Big Walk? You have this nose that looks like a... Oh, man. I'm not even sure if I can say it.
And I'm gonna...
Who's the audience here? People that don't
take
know
this
what
thing
they
off
want,
my
I
head now.
suppose. I don't know much about the game. From
Number 8.
Oh, here we go.
Onimusha, Way of the Sword.
皆さんこんにちは。鬼武者ウェイ・オブ・ザ・ソードプロデューサーの門脇です。今回は PC ゲーミング賞モーストウォンテッドタイトルに選出いただき誠にありがとうございます。本作は1600年代の京都を舞台に主人公の宮本武蔵が異形玄魔と戦う剣撃アクションゲームです。こだわりのアクションに加え魅力的なキャラクターたちが登場するストーリーにもご期待ください。来年以降も多くの方にプレイいただける機会を用意できればと考えています。今後とも鬼武者をよろしくお願いいたします。
Onimusha that was solid back in the day. That could be solid today too.
I've dealt with a few bioorganic weapons in my time. The quadruple-mouthed Blazark of Omnium 4. The Hellbeast of Troll, Eric of Northampton. But even I might run in terror from the monsters in our next game, Resident Evil Requiem.
I want to know more about this.
Number 7. Resident Evil Requiem.
I'm kind of looking forward to this one.
Hi, PC Gaming Show. I'm Andy Wong, Senior Manager of Social Media and Community here at Capcom. Thank you so much for naming Resident Evil Requiem as one of your most wanted games. We are in awe of how passionate the Resident Evil community has been and can't wait for you to meet our new protagonist, Grace Ashcroft. In the meantime, I'd like to invite you to watch the Resident Evil Showcase happening early next year, where we'll do a deep dive on Resident Evil Requiem and share some of the horrors that will await you. Mark your calendars. You can pre-order now on PC via Steam and Epic Game Store, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch 2. From all of us here at Capcom, thank you so much, and we can't wait to see you back in Raccoon City, where it all began.
Resident Evil. Yay, numbers. I don't know how to feel about this. Okay.
Baba? In here, the world opens like one of your letters. We once solved everything together. You made it all feel less impossible. Now, it is only me. You left me no instructions, just the echo of your step to follow.
But
There's a door. Behind it, the silence is almost your voice. Perhaps it holds the answers. Perhaps it holds you.
If you're a fan of old houses, Easter eggs, and deeply connected universes, this next one's for you.
Oh, yeah?
Number 6. Control 2.
Fair warning. This is gonna be weirder than usual.
I am really excited for Control 2, and a big part of that is Sam Lake. I think he's the best
director, his best writer, and his style, you know, his weirdness, the way he builds atmosphere and story. Nobody else does it like he does. I love the first Control. Just those vibes, mid-century modern style blended with crazy mysteries. So the idea of seeing all of that taken even further gets me genuinely hyped. I can't wait to see what Sam and the team do next, so Control 2 is my choice.
Next up on our list is an action thriller from developers Liquid Swords. Dive into a crime-ridden underworld in Samson, where violence pays the rent.
Tindleston, asshole of the world. Everyone's either paying, collecting, or buried in between. My past mistakes are catching up. In this city, desperation's the currency. You can't outrun debt. You can't freeze interest. You can curl up and die in the street. Or you can fight the fuck back.
An old soldier's pendant. On the back, faint words are engraved. Elrad, I will return to my family.
Elrad, a child spins the pinwheel every day, waiting for you. I keep hoping someone might bring word of thee, or even something you left behind.
Father, the wind blew again today. Mother says the wind is you.
Uh-oh.
Though the steps never returned, their waiting became the wind that circles the hill. Only the pinwheel remembers the love of a family.
Oh no.
Number 5. Grand Theft Auto 6.
The fuck, why is this not number 1?
Grand Theft Auto 6. Where to start? It's a game that's been in development for over a decade. Just that fact alone is wild.
Hands above your head, now!
You, stay!
But couple that with it being perhaps the most anticipated game or even entertainment product ever, and that's putting a fair amount of pressure on Rockstar. So much so that it's been delayed twice now. But 2026 is currently the year of GTA 6. Not on PC, of course. There's a slightly unannounced, longer wait for that version. But when it does arrive, it has the potential to change the landscape of gaming for another 10 years or more. Incredible then that we know next to nothing about the game itself. 2 trailers totaling about 4 minutes and around 70 screenshots have shown us a modern day Vice City and a host of characters that our leads, Jason and Lucia, will be interacting with in the biggest and most detailed GTA map Rockstar has ever created. I am so ready to jump into the world and can't wait to see more of it in the lead up to release.
Hey, if you got friends, can you hook me up, please?
Probably not much of a shock to anyone that GTA 6 is one of our most wanted games, huh? And maybe the reason they haven't announced a PC release date is because they're planning to launch it on PC before consoles this time?
Frankie, come on.
Before we continue with PC Gaming's most wanted list, it looks like we've received an important transmission from Earth. Rebuilt, reborn, reloaded. It looks like an arena shooter has returned. Better than ever. On screen.
Hey everyone, I'm Josh Watson, Design Director at 1047 Games, and I'm excited to finally announce that Splitgate is back. Since entering beta in May, we've heard the community loud and clear. We've been hard at work rebuilding the game from the ground up, taking the best of Splitgate 1 and Splitgate 2, removing what didn't work and refining what did. I'm stoked to share that Splitgate Arena Reloaded launches free to play December 17th on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Splitgate has always been a love letter to the arena shooters we grew up playing. Unreal Tournament, Quake, Halo, games that defined what made the genre special. With Arena Reloaded, our goal is to introduce that feeling to a whole new generation. We've done this by streamlining the core experience, deepening progression, and expanding what the game has to offer. We've removed factions and abilities and focused on gunplay, portals, and above all else, fun. Just like those old LAN days. We've added player stats, leaderboards, a career system, and even overhauled our competitive experience for those who love to climb the ranks. Plus, we've got 5 new maps, 4 new weapons, new modes, and a whole lot more. We've got a lot to share in the coming weeks, so stay tuned to our channels for more updates. From the entire team here at 1047, see you in the arena, December 17th.
Cool sound. No.
Number 4.
Okay, good. That's not even on the list.
Stranger Than Heaven.
Hey, how you doing? Dave Newblood here. We make that there Fallen Aces, so we know a thing or two about gangsters. And let me tell you, this Stranger Than Heaven, oh, baby. The only thing better than Yakuza is Yakuza with goons, if you know what I mean. Anyway, we've seen Sotenbori a lot of different ways, but I don't think we've ever seen it like this. If you know RGG, you know this game's gonna have action. It's gonna have drama. You'll laugh. You'll cry. You'll get a little bit of this,
Sounds like it's
a little bit of that.
music.
But at the end of the day, all you'll be able to say, Arigato gozaimasu, ryogagato. Because RGG, they don't miss. Capiche?
Got a name?
Hey, babe, how do you say gabagool in Japanese?
What are you then? Sana. 俺が知りてえや。
Interesting. Little Cowboy Bebop-esque. Yeah, storytelling software. Not since like Windrose. It's that band that sings the song. Oh.
Strap in, because we're about to jump into hyperspace and reveal our top 3 most wanted games. But first, a quick recap of what we've just seen.
Number 10, sharpen your blades for Team Ninja's Neo 3. At number 9, grab your buddies for some co-op fun in Big Walk. Another samurai appeared at number 8, Onimusha, Way of the Sword, in our 7th most wanted game, Resident Evil Requiem. Control 2 levitated its way into number 6 on our list, and GTA 6 crashed a stolen car into 5th place. At number 4 is noir thriller Stranger Than Heaven.
Now onto the games at the very top of our most wanted list. And I think you'll agree, this one is pretty sweet.
Number 3. Haunted Chocolatier.
Okay, well, I mean, it has its style.
As someone who works in games, I know that good things, they come to those who wait. But that doesn't stop me from being so excited and putting the Haunted Chocolatier really high on my most wanted list. The idea that everything that we love about Stardew Valley will be there, but with an added spooky, ghostly, paranormal twist, you could say that it really, really appeals to my horror sensibilities. But, you know, no rush. Kind of.
I Spy with My Little Eye, the number 2 game on our most wanted list. And it's a game about the world's greatest spy. Let's open our top secret file on 007 First Light.
Number 2. 007 First Light.
I'm not loving Beyond.
I've had worse.
Okay, that's a musical thing.
Well, in that case.
Well, what are we waiting for? No sign of 009.
We need to inform M.
No time. I'm going after him. Make him call off the attack.
Are you out of your mind?
I'll be careful. He'd bin the phone.
Go to the security room, first floor.
And you are?
Rob Minkley.
He's with me.
Come on, Moneypenny. If I lose the trail, we'll never know who they're working for. Oi, you lads got a faulty coffee machine? I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
You're not, Damien Mead.
Bond. James Bond.
If 009 slips through our fingers, we're the last line of defense.
Someone just tried to kill me.
Tell me you caught him.
Someday there should be a Mission Impossible James Bond crossover.
stage of life.
Too nice.
Always.
Alrighty then.
Danger. The emergency destruct system is now activated.
What? Why?
Did I say emergency destruct? I meant our most wanted game. And I didn't mean danger. I meant good news.
You're a very weird ship. But yes, we've blasted through 24 games and we've only got one left on our most wanted list. It's the one our wise council of developers, content creators, and critics have agreed is the most wanted in the sheer galaxy of games headed our way. I hope you're feeling as inspired as we are because we're putting all our cards on the table.
And now for our number one most wanted game, Slay the Spire 2.
Honestly, it's incredibly humbling and awesome that we're number one. I remember a distinct moment when I was walking down the street with my wife when we first started working on Slay the Spire, and I was saying how great it would be if we sold enough copies that quitting my software job wasn't just the worst financial decision in the world. And now here we are, and it's just like mind-blowing. I've definitely thought about what makes Slay the Spire so compelling to people and how I can make it better into Slay the Spire 2. The thing that makes games, and in particular card games, so engaging is that they're a series of discrete, meaningful choices. Usually they're pretty comprehensible, like you're not overwhelmed with just this infinite array of things, and you can say, okay, if I do this, it's gonna have this impact, and if I do this, it's gonna have this impact. And distilling down on that strong, distinct choice that the player can look back on and be like, oh, I messed up here. That's like the key of deck builders and why they work so well.
Every choice you make is like hard. That's kind of like the essence, I think, of deck builders, is having every single choice be quite difficult. You choose a card, generally about 3 cards per turn. And so each of those choices, if they're not difficult, you're gonna just feel like you're just pushing buttons. If you're new to deck builders, we tend to put a lot of tutorials in that detect when you're confused. So we really try to gently guide people into playing the game. But you know, it's okay. I think if the game launches pretty popular, you should be able to have some friends to help you too.
One of the big differences between Slay the Spire 1 and 2 is that we have grown our team up and actually scale up so we can make kind of just a bigger game overall. The art is way more polished, there's more animations, more visual effects, there's more characters, more events, more relics, more cards. Returning characters have totally different card pools with new cards as well. In addition, we've tried to expand out some of the play space for what you can do with cards and other things in this game. So you can apply enchantments to your cards to modify them and make them more powerful. Enemies can also mess with your cards in ways they couldn't before. You also have new quest events where you can engage with the event system in a different way than you could in Slay the Spire 1. So lots of little things that I think add up to a much bigger whole. In addition to writing significantly more lore, with Slay the Spire 2, we have a whole new mechanic based around the lore, and I don't want to say how it works or anything, but we call it the timeline, and it's going to give the players just way more information about the game world, the actors in it, and just everything about it. Just everything is kind of bigger than it was in Slay the Spire 1.
Bigger card game.
I think in a given week, Anthony will give us maybe like 20 to 30 different changes, again, ranging from again, tweaking numbers or even just cutting cards altogether, adding new ones. I think over the course of the game, let's say every character has 60 cards. I think they've gone through at least 100, 200 versions, like actually design cards that have been cut or remade over the course of the last, say, 3-4 years.
The analogy that I always use for game design, and in particular card game design, is that it's kind of like you're a butcher. You generate like thousands, tens of thousands of different ideas, and then you look at them all, and then you go, these are bad, and you just cut them all away, and this constant culling process. And then the ones you do keep, then you're usually changing all of those and refining them. Very rarely is there just this golden idea you keep from start to finish. Those are incredibly rare, and most of it is like this incredibly destructive process, and that's what I think makes game development so interesting and different than other creative mediums. The Necrobinder is the newest character we've revealed information on for Slay the Spire 2. And she's got several different archetypes she can go into. One is built around summoning. She has a minion she can summon called Osti, and she can have him attack and build up defenses on him so that he can take hits for her.
So Necrobinder is supposed to be a more complex character compared to the Ironclad and Silent. She has a pet. She has a pet hand named Osti. It's a big hand. Osti gets bigger and bigger the more HP it has, which is very funny, so I highly recommend making Osti huge.
Another is she can doom enemies, which has kind of a risk-reward nature to it because the enemies will still get to attack you on the turn that they're going to die. She has a souls-based mechanic where she's drawing tons and tons of cards, but it's kind of hard and slow to get going. And she's got also lots of other little archetypes that she can kind of blend into the other ones. And I think she's our most complicated character to play so far, and I think Slay the Spire 1 players will really enjoy her.
When we're describing sort of the aesthetic of Slay the Spire and Slay the Spire 2, it really is, I don't know a better way to describe it except grim dark with whimsy in it. Like, you will kind of meet these really horrifying monsters or, like, you know, eldritch horrors in a way, and then you'll also do an event where there's like a goblin there wearing a suit that wants to spin a wheel with you. So I think it's a very unique balance of aesthetics in there that you're trying to, you know, make a serious fantasy world, but have some fun with it and have some weirdness injected into it.
I'm not sure why, but I feel like our artists really enjoy making cute things or gross things. So there's a lot of oozy things and a lot of cute enemies, and that's okay, you know? I don't think Slay the Spire has to be gothic, blood flying everywhere, ripping hearts out.
We are working on a sequel to a game that kind of has an established visual style that people, I think, really attach to. I think players attach to it because this is a game that some people, you know, play for hundreds of hours and they remember it so fondly, and we want to be able to provide them like a recognizable space, but also upgrade it in a way that it does look new, it does look fresh, it does look like a sequel.
I definitely had some hesitation with working on a sequel because oftentimes they don't hit as hard, or you're kind of like, why was a sequel made? To me, actually, that made it kind of interesting because trying to figure out new twists that you can do while still keeping kind of the same core formula or keeping the fans happy was actually an interesting question that I was kind of interested to dive into. I'm happy we're launching into early access. For Slay the Spire 1, early access was a huge boon. Like, we constantly pushed out updates. Our players loved it. That kind of direct feedback allows us to improve the game at an incredible speed.
There are a lot of bosses already. There are a lot of enemies. There are a lot of events. Probably more than the first game, just on early access launch. Yeah, voted #1 is an honor and a surprise. I feel like Slay the Spire is the chicken noodle soup of video games. Like, it's not exciting, but I hope people like our soup.
Slay the Spire 2 launches March 2026. Wishlisted now on Steam.
That's our show, folks. And if you haven't already added all the games you saw today to your wish list, what are you waiting for? Visit our Steam page at pcgamer.com/wishlist and start clicking. And huge thanks to our partners at Xbox for making our ROG Alley and Game Pass giveaways possible. You can still enter to win by visiting the link on screen. I'm going to head back to Earth at light speed, so I should be getting there just in time for our next PC gaming show in June. See you then. And now, engage. Engage.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. Engage.
Engage what? There are 943 different systems on this starship. Which would you like me to engage? The deep fryer? The air fresheners? The zero-gravity ping-pong table? Be specific.
You know, just engage. Engage the engines or thrusters or whatever. The go fast lever. Whatever makes the ship go boom with the lines coming out the back.
The hyperdrive.
Yes, that! Engage!
Jumping to light speed in 3,
2.
Wait, we have a zero gravity ping pong table? Can I play with that before we...
1.
Not too bad. Still really makes me question though, like, with Grand Theft Auto 6 being like not even top 4. Who decided some of this? But okay, sure. People are waiting for Slay the Spire 2 more than Grand Theft Auto 6 for some reason. Yeah. And with that, I am going to bid you all adieu. Probably make some clips off of this later. And yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at playing a game later today, perhaps. I don't know. I got some personal stuff that came up, I think. So, alright, well, talk to everybody later. Peace.